It's literally the same thing.
Just,
And so you know you...
let her talk.
Stand up. Have a seat, everyone.
Hello, Judge. Case 2174, Brown Dupree versus Freeman.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, who's the business person?
It's us.
That would be you?
Yes,
Your name is Mr. Dupree.
Mr. Dupree.
You a couple?
No, ma'am. It's business partners.
In what business?
Car rental.
How do you know each other?
We met from the military.
So you're not a couple, you're just in business together. I just want to know. Don't both smile. I just want to know. Let's go.
We're friends.
Yeah, we're friends. We're friends.
What? This is not going to happen for me.
We're not a couple. We know we're friends, you know, and we decided to go in business together.
Where do you live?
Houston, Texas.
Where does she live?
He's
Where
from
does
Texas.
she? Shut.
Houston, Texas.
Does she live in the same place that you do?
In the same home?
In the same place, building?
Oh, no, we don't.
Who do you live with?
Myself.
Who does she live with?
Herself.
When did you meet in the military?
Maybe 2021. Not really sure exactly what month. But...
Now, if you're in business together, is the only business you had this one car that we're...
Yes, we was just starting.
What kind of work do you do?
Crane operation.
Full-time?
Yes.
And what about you?
I work at a call center.
So that's your primary source of income.
That's correct.
Yes.
And you decided to do this car rental as sort of a side gig.
Yes.
We had just got out the military, so we didn't have a job then. So we did it for a primary source of income.
Well, you can't have one car that you rent as a primary source of income.
We have our military disability check as well, so we have that. And we
How
did the
long were you
car.
in the military?
Almost 9 years.
And you?
8.
Where did you serve?
Norfolk, Virginia, and Mayport, Florida. Jacksonville, Florida.
So you were never out of the United States?
Yes, I went overseas for deployments, but never stationed.
But where did you go on your deployment?
Bahrain, Dubai, Greece, Italy, and all over.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was a great experience.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
What about you?
Only Virginia.
Only Virginia?
Only Virginia.
How did you become disabled in Virginia?
I have no idea.
I mean, you said you're on a military disability, so, you know, I could understand if you deployed someplace else.
I have no idea.
You have no idea what?
Why, I guess, became disabled. Just mentally, I guess. Mental.
Well, you applied for a disability from the Army.
You said what?
What?
I said mentally.
Just my own curiosity. I have to see how this is going. How much is your disability benefit from the Army?
$2,000.
A month? It's not an answer. Yes is an answer. What about you?
Same.
And is your disability mental or physical?
Both.
Well, your physical disability doesn't inhibit you from being a crane operator.
No, not really.
Great. I love America. Okay, so now you're out, you're both on disability from the Army. You don't have a job yet, so you decide to buy a Mercedes.
That's correct.
What year Mercedes?
2014.
And how much was it?
22,000.
Is there a note on the car?
Yes.
For how much?
$350.
Per month?
Yes.
How much of a loan did you take out?
23, one of them. It's not too much.
Car was only 22.
The car was 22.
I don't know the exact number that the car is right now, but it was between 21 and 23,000 that we owed on it. And I took the loan out.
Where is the car now?
In Texas.
With whom?
She has it right now.
What was the rental agreement that you had with Miss Freeman? You didn't form a business corporation or anything else, am I correct?
Yes, we have LLC.
And the sole asset is this car?
Yes.
You bought the car when? Give me the date again.
I think it was in July.
July of 2022?
That's correct.
And when did you rent the car to the defendant?
August 27th.
Do you have the rental agreement?
I don't have the original agreement because it was in my car that was stolen, but I made her take a picture with her driver's license and send it to me. So this is a copy, and this is before she signed it.
And I have after I signed.
It's literally the same thing.
Just
And so you know you-
let her talk.
Okay. What I'd like you to do is take a look at this, Ms. Freeman, and tell me if you have it. It's the same
Yes,
what she
ma'am.
had. Okay. And this is the entire agreement, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I don't know why you're arguing. It doesn't appear, madam, it doesn't appear as if you are losing this case. So I don't know why you feel compelled to make it hostile.
Selena Brown and Trayon Dupree claim their customer, Brianna Freeman, owes for damages to their Mercedes rental car. Brianna is countersuing for lost wages.
So there's nothing in this agreement that prevents her from allowing somebody else to use the car, and the agreement specifically says that if anything happens to the car, she is responsible to use her insurance, and you have a policy number, your policy number for insurance. Okay, so your boyfriend was driving the car on what date?
The 1st,
First of what?
September. And I have the accident report if you want that.
Not yet, I may. Not yet. But there was an accident and the car was damaged.
Correct.
Anybody have a photograph of the damage to the car?
I have it on my phone if you would like to see that.
I would.
While we're waiting, Your Honor, I found the LLC filing that lists both of them as the
Principals.
principals, but they list the same address for both of them. Their residents are listed as the same.
Oh, really? Interesting. Want to say that a little louder?
I just said I found both of them listed as managing members of the LLC with the same address for both of them listed.
I lived in a different
Yeah,
state
she
when we
lived-
started. I was in Florida.
We don't live together. That's what y'all are saying.
It just lists.
Yeah,
it lists
that's
as
just the
place of business
LLC
as well.
address.
It's in my boyfriend's phone because the number that's on the contract was his phone at the time. So if you want to see
I had a
the
picture right here.
And I have multiple pictures as well.
Of the car?
That's correct.
Well, that's what I'm asking you for. I said I want to see pictures of the damage to the car. You were in an accident?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you agreed in this contract that if you were in an accident, Brianna, that would be you,
Yes.
will use her insurance if anything happens during the rental. Brianna will be responsible to pay out of pocket.
Correct.
You signed that?
Correct.
Okay, so you were in an accident. I don't care whose fault it is
Yeah.
because it doesn't have anything to do with fault. Picture of the car.
I have multiple. It's
It's another paper picture.
a couple pictures, so you can just check as well.
Stand up. Somebody hit you in the rear?
No, in the front.
Oh, this is the front
They
of the
ran
car.
a stop sign.
What?
They ran a stop sign. I was coming up. They were coming across.
Well, whatever. You got damage in the front of your car. In my mind, that usually means that you hit somebody
No, they came across from me. They ran a stop sign in front of me.
and you hit them. Okay, well, that's what it usually means, that you hit somebody in the front. Okay, and that was on September 1st.
Correct.
Did you notify your insurance company?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to see proof of that.
So these are the claims, the quotes they gave me to fix the car. Also, this is when I let her know, Ms. Brown, what was covered under my policy.
I'd like to see it.
So that's that. It shows what's covered in my policy.
Was the car fixed?
Absolutely not.
No.
It was not.
Not at all.
Why not?
Because I didn't talk to Trayon, Mr. Dupree, however you say his name, until the day, September the 5th. All of my business was going through Mrs. Brown. So I don't know if he just found out what happened. But when I called the insurance on the 1st, they let me know that he was the owner of the vehicle. I said, okay. They said they'll have to go through everything through him so that the car can get fixed because I wasn't the title holder. I said, that's fine. I said, okay, due to the fact that the car got wrecked, I let her know that once the car goes to Mercedes-Benz to get fixed, they give a loaner vehicle. I let them know everything that was covered. Why it didn't get fixed? Because she popped up to my home and caused drama. I lost my job behind it, so forth and so on.
What does that have to do with your responsibility? Your boyfriend had an accident with a car. You have a contract that says you're going to fix it.
Because Trayon said it wasn't enough.
What do you mean Trayon said it wasn't
I
enough?
sent him the quote for their adjusters, and he said that wasn't enough to get it fixed. And I have that text message from Trayon.
Just a second. I'd like to see your quote from your company. Where did you take the car for them to send an adjuster to take a look at the car?
I had to take pictures of the car and upload it to the app they sent me, and that's how they got those quotes.
They have an estimate here of $3,000. Did you get an estimate to fix the car?
Yes, we got an estimate.
I'd like to see it.
In person.
In person. That was just the picture, and when I
Okay,
talked...
got it.
May I interject a little bit? Because Brianna kind of lying, and she raised her right hand. So Brianna didn't notify us that the car was wrecked until September 3rd. She told us that she was in the hospital with her dying father.
Listen
correct?
to me. Listen to me. I don't care.
She lied about
I don't care.
She lied about how the car got wrecked.
I don't care. It doesn't matter how the car got wrecked. She has an obligation to fix it. She has an obligation to fix it. And to be quite honest with you, this is a Mercedes, and this car can't be fixed for $2,900. Can't. He's absolutely right. This car can't be fixed based upon that damage. And he wasn't prepared to say here.
No, it wasn't that at all. So once, I guess, he got involved in the business, I was talking to Ms. Brown. She said she had a rental the next day or something in that manner. And I said, okay, well, let me find a Mercedes-Benz that can actually get your car in so you can get this loaner car for you to rent your car out. Also, in the midst of that, I was gonna pay for the rental that she had that was so much one to cancel on her. So I said, okay, Mercedes has a loaner car and can accept your car at the time.
Well, they couldn't fix this car for $2,900.
That's what they gave me, and they said that if it went to a Mercedes-Benz shop, they will honor that.
I don't know that at all.
That's what they told me.
I don't care.
But regardless of the price of getting the car fixed, I was gonna pay because I know that we was at fault for it. Quote unquote, it was my contract that I signed. That wasn't an issue.
Well, then you can take that up with your insurance company.
Correct. I didn't have a problem with paying.
Yeah, then you can take it up with your insurance company.
She lied about how the accident happened. So they denied.
Don't listen to me. You started to say that before. I told you I don't care.
She's just lying and cost us so much money. Like,
Madam, listen to me. You okay? Good.
Selena Brown and Trayon Dupree have accused their customer, Brianna Freeman, of damaging their Mercedes rental car after her boyfriend was in an accident.
He has an estimate that looks like a pretty legitimate estimate. They bought the car. It's a relatively new car. They paid $22,000 for it. Your boyfriend wrecked it, and he has an estimate which looks reasonable for $8,000 to fix it. And if your insurance company is dragging their heels and not paying what they should, you take that up with your insurance company.
I never got that quote, by the way.
Which quote?
The quote that the $8,000. I never got that.
Well, I'm going to show it to you.
Oh, it's probably be true.
$8,319.
her insurance denied it because she lied. She lied about how the accident happened. So they denied.
Don't listen to me. You started to say that before. I told you I don't care.
My insurance.
Just a second.
Your insurance what?
Never denied the claim.
I have proof. I talked to him. I have proof. I have the email where he said they denied it because.
They definitely denied it.
Because I told them to stop because she popped up at my house.
Because she lied about the accident. Because we tried to get it through our insurance as well.
I don't know why you're arguing. It doesn't appear, madam, it doesn't appear as if you are losing this case. So I don't know why you feel compelled to make it hostile. I don't understand why.
She's just lying and cost us so much money. Like,
madam, listen to me. We're all told. You okay? Good. Your car is in this condition at whose house? At your house?
That's correct.
And the car, since the accident, which was 4 months ago, has it been rented?
No.
No. Is it drivable?
Yes, it's drivable.
When was the last time you drove it?
Last week.
When was the last time you rented it?
Since Brianna.
Have you been making the payments on the car?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Who's been making the payments?
Both.
What is the monthly payment?
$350. $350.
50. You told me that. The insurance up to date?
So we had insurance, we had commercial insurance on it. But when I put in the claim and told them what happened, because we did get lied to about what actually happened, and we didn't get informed of the accident till the 3rd. But when I put in the claim, I put it in how they told us what happened. And my insurance, they found the police report before we did, and they seen what actually happened. So they felt like we was trying to do fraud. So the guy, he told us it's better for us to pull the claim because it's gonna look like it's fraud on our part. So they dropped us from the insurance.
So they dropped you after?
Yes.
After the accident?
Yes.
Can I see the police report now? Well, this police report indicates that the other person was at fault.
That was my. Oh, sorry.
Am I wrong about that?
No, ma'am.
No, then don't speak. This police report, did you see it?
Yes. Got it right here.
I'd like to see what you have. This police report clearly says that Unit 1, which was the woman, ran a stop sign. That's what it says. Why would your insurance company drop you?
Because we gave the story that she told us, so it looks like we're doing fraud.
Yeah.
And basically, ignorance isn't an excuse for them. So
Actually, that's pretty outrageous.
We was told it was a hit and run.
she told us it was a hit and run, so we told them that. She said she was in the hospital when it got hit, and then we found the report. She waited until the day that we had a rental to tell us. We had another rental on the 3rd that afternoon. She told us that morning.
On the 3rd?
That's correct.
And the accident was on the 1st?
That's correct.
Okay. I think you have to get your car fixed. I think that the fact that your insurance company canceled your insurance when it was clear that he was not at fault in this accident, at least according to the police report, is actually pretty outrageous that they canceled your insurance. Is there any insurance on the car now?
Yes, there's regular insurance on it.
Not commercial anymore?
Not right now because we're not renting it.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $8,000. We're finished. Thank you very much.
This court is adjourned.
How many times, Miss Williams, have you been to Africa? The mother of your 2 children came to marry your cousin.
He was, in fact, cheating on me.
You married his cousin.
His brother.
That's not him, is it?
That's him right there, yes, ma'am.
I would make a beeline for the door.
This is Judy Justice. Godwin Onyebujour is suing his child's mother, Deanna Williams, for assault, false arrest, and parking tickets.
Court come to order. All rise.
Have a seat, please.
Hello, Judge. Case 3058, Onyebujour versus Williams.
Thank you. Mr. Onyebujour, you have 1 child with the defendant
Yes, Your Honor.
and 1 on the way.
I'm not sure if it's mine yet, Your Honor.
Well, she says it's yours. And you were, in fact, living together.
At the time, not right now.
You were living together from when to when?
From January this year till about April.
So the 1 child that you have together was conceived when you were not living together?
We were living together. The first child we had, we were living together at my parents.
And how long were you living with your parents?
About throughout the whole time, my daughter was born.
When was that?
May 12, 2018. She was born.
How long were you living with her at your parents' house?
We were living together the whole time before we moved out.
Give me the time frame. How many years? From when to when?
5 years, about 5 years. Sorry, Your Honor.
So that would be from 2013 to 2018, or from 2018 to 2023?
2018 to 23.
So you've been constantly living together?
Yeah,
both at your parents' house and then in this apartment that you leased?
Yeah, between those times, we moved out together to Long Beach, but we moved back in with my parent as well. So
fine. So you moved back and forth, but you've been together with her since 2018.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
When did she marry your brother? In what year?
It's my cousin, not my brother.
Just a second.
Okay.
Actually, it's who?
It's my cousin, not my brother.
Your cousin?
Yes.
When did she marry your cousin?
I think it had to be 20.
When did you marry his cousin?
In February 2018.
Were you living together at the time she married your cousin?
No, we weren't.
And in what month did you start living with him at his parents' house?
About after I had my daughter, May 14th, 2018.
Well, clearly you were with him before you moved into his parents' house.
Yes.
Because if your daughter was born, you know, I'm not really good in math, but clearly you were together, even if you weren't living with his parents when you married his cousin.
His brother.
You say his brother, he says his cousin, his relative.
It's his brother.
And where was his relative?
In Nigeria.
Is he now here?
Yes.
And are you in the process of divorcing?
Yes, ma'am.
That's not him, is it?
That's him right there, yes.
Oh, that would be you right there.
Yes, ma'am.
I would make a beeline for the door. No, sit down.
All right.
Okie dokie. It is your claim that the defendant assaulted you on several occasions. You're going to tell me when. That in addition to her assaulting you, she vandalized your home during your last argument.
Yes, Your Honor.
By throwing grease on the kitchen walls from a fry pan.
Yes, Your Honor.
That you purchased a car that allegedly was supposed to be her car, but it's in your name because you had better credit, according to her. That after this breakup, she took the car. And while she had the car, she racked up hundreds of dollars in parking tickets or other toll fines.
Yes, Your Honor.
You've subsequently taken back the car.
No, Your Honor. I purchased the car. She never has a job. I work 2 jobs.
Could you just answer my question? Did you subsequently take back the car?
The vehicle is mine, Your Honor. I took it back, Your Honor. Yes, yes.
Just answer. You took it back from her.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And you're suing her for the tickets that you racked up on the car because the car is in your name.
Yes, Your Honor.
She says, no, you're violent. You assaulted her. Oh, and you're also suing her for false arrest. A lot going on here. You're suing him because you say he abused you, and it was really your car. It was just in his name, as I said, because he had a better credit score. You didn't address the parking fines, but you want something for this car. Okay, just for my own information, Miss Williams, your daughter is now 5?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're expecting another?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a massage therapist.
For whom?
I'm just on my own. I just graduated.
So you're not doing it yet?
No, but I've been...
Just a second. Did you file income tax returns last year?
Yes.
How much did you earn last year when you filed your income tax returns? You personally? Just be very careful.
Yeah.
How much did you claim that you earned if you filed income tax?
Well, I had a W-2. I was previously working at the DMV.
And how much did you earn?
About 25 to 30K.
Okay. Let's get to the assaults that you reference, sir, in your complaint. We're going to do assaults first. When was the first assault?
It was in February 2023.
I don't want to get to the first assault because after February 2023, you moved back together.
Yeah, temporary.
Just a second.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim you were assaulted. You went to the hospital. You had broken ribs.
Yes, Your Honor.
Police were called, and you weren't together at that time. She left the house.
Yes, Your Honor, because she has a restraining order.
You filed a restraining order against her. But then you invited her back to the house in March.
I never invited her. She came back to the house, and I never...
Just a second.
Yes.
When she came back in March, did she come back in March and stay for a period of time? Just be careful.
Yes, Your Honor.
We're going to...
Yes, Your Honor.
We're not going to play a mind game here, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
She came back.
Yes, Your Honor.
You agreed that she could come back.
Yeah, because her name is on the lease. I can't kick her out. Yes, Your
Not
Honor.
because her name may be on the lease. You couldn't kick her out. Did you sleep with her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sleep with her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, that's not on a lease anywhere because she's married to your brother. Do you understand?
My cousin, Your Honor.
Cousin. Okay. Do you understand? So you invited her back to the house after this assault. And in the law, you know what we call that? Condonation. Well, it was an assault, but you forgave her because you invited her back to the house.
She has no place to go. I had to let her.
I don't, listen, shoulda, woulda, coulda. If you say she came back because she was on the lease, she had no place to go, that would make you altruistic. Sleeping with her is a different situation. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So all 3 were true. She was on the lease.
Yes, Your Honor.
She had no place to go.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you slept with her.
Yes, Your Honor.
There we go. That's called condonation. That may be an expensive condonation for you, but it's condonation. Now, so she moves back in March, and What's next?
She moved back in March, and we had an incident where I gave my daughter my phone, and she takes the phone from her, and she kept going through my phone while I was sleeping because I worked 2 jobs. In between those times,
Just a second. So she took your phone.
Yes, Your Honor.
And she looked through your phone.
Yeah, she does that frequently. Well, most of the time she does.
I don't care. Every woman does the same thing. Men do it too. So she looked through your phone.
Yes, Your Honor.
And what did she find?
She said she found a lady that bought a car from me because I sold the car to a friend of hers. She said I was talking to her, and she got mad over me talking to her.
Just a second. So she found that you were talking to another lady.
Yes, Your Honor. That's our friend.
Just a second. Don't explain yourself to me, sir. I'm still trying to figure out the brother-cousin.
Godwin Onyebujour claims his child's mother, Deanna Williams, assaulted him and had him falsely arrested. Deanna is countersuing, claiming Godwin assaulted her multiple times.
Okay. When she looked through the phone, where were you?
I was laying down in the bedroom.
This was in March?
Yes, Your Honor.
March what?
I think it was March 28th.
And you were lying down, and?
She kicked down the door, and she came into the room, and she hit me upside the head with a perfume bottle.
Not the phone?
No, not the phone. Because my daughter had the phone. I thought my daughter had the phone, but when she came into the room, she kept asking me, "Who was that? Were you talking to this person?" And I said, "Yeah, but nothing sexual, nothing like bad about my conversation with her." But she was mad about it, because she got aggressive. So she hit me upside the head with a perfume bottle, punched me in the eyes, and she ran out the door with my daughter.
This was March 28th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you treated for that anywhere?
No, I wasn't, Your Honor.
Did you take any photographs of it?
The police did.
May I see them?
I don't have it right now, man.
The police were called?
They were called because I went to work that day. Because as soon as the incident happened, she took my phone, she ran out the door, so I couldn't call the police. So I went straight to work. So they came to my job to arrest me. That she had scratched herself because after they released me, she told me that she did that because she thought she was going to get arrested for hitting me.
Because she had a prior restraining order?
Yes, Your Honor.
What happened to that case?
It's dismissed.
Is that right?
Yes, I believe so.
What do you mean you believe so?
I have evidence.
I was never notified. Just from what he told me, the case was dismissed.
Well, why don't you tell me what happened, your version of what happened on March 28th? March 28th, you were looking in his phone. You were looking in his phone. Listen to me, be very careful. March 28th, you were looking in his phone.
It was March 29th.
March 29th, you were looking at his phone. And?
I was looking in his phone. I found messages and cash apps of him sending another woman money.
Now, in what room in the apartment were you when you were looking at the phone?
So this incident is not related to what he's talking about. That was the night before.
That's March 28th?
No, March 29th. This incident happened on March 30th. So previously, the night before, I had found the messages. I had questioned him about it. He said it wasn't anything. He wasn't doing anything, blah, blah, blah. The next day, which was a Thursday, I was in the bedroom. Mr. Onyebujour was in the living room with my daughter. We were texting back and forth, talking, when he disclosed to me that he was, in fact, cheating on me with an acquaintance of mine. I wouldn't call her a friend, and that she was pregnant. I have the text message.
You have those text messages?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that correct, sir? That's either a yes or a no. She says she has the text messages.
Your Honor, no, because she has my phone.
Just a second. May I see the text message?
Yes, ma'am.
Just a second. Did you write in a text message to her, listen to me, that you were having a relationship, I didn't finish the question yet, in substance, you were having a relationship with someone else and the person was now pregnant with your child?
I never wrote, no, Your Honor.
Okay, may I see it, please?
She has my phone the whole time.
May I see it? Before I look at this, sir, I'm going to give you one more chance. Were you having a relationship with someone else prior to March 28th?
No.
Yes or no?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Did another woman advise you that she was pregnant with your child?
No, Your Honor, I don't have no child.
You go.
Your Honor, I also have the messages between him and her.
Just a second.
Excuse me.
Yep, because you don't take it out of my wallet. Referring to this other woman. Wow, finally you're a man and admit that. How long have you been with her? Your response, she's pregnant too. Over 1 year.
Your Honor, she has my phone. Whatever
Just a second. Just watch this time. The car is, it says cat. I assume it means car is going to be taken away. You better run this time. You threatening me? You can't take the car. I have a contract. You say she's a better person than you will ever be. I'm going to take that car away and give it to her. Does that sound familiar to you? Stop waving. That sound familiar to you?
No, Your Honor, I never...
What do you mean no? That's from your phone.
She has access to she takes my phone and take off with it. She makes up all these stories.
I'm talking about your phone, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. She has my phone. Majority of the time, she has my phone. She texts random.
So you mean she was texting from her phone and then back and forth to herself and your phone, and she was creating this?
There's a possibility.
What's the name? What's the name of the woman?
Jennifer Velez. I have text messages between them also.
May I see them, please?
Of course, ma'am.
Okay, so what happens is when she gets your phone, she's able to make copies of what your conversations are, not only with her, but with Jennifer. Do you understand?
I don't have no, that's her friend. I don't have no relationship with her friend. They were friends. I sold the car to her, that was it.
I don't know whose messages these are.
The gray is her, and then the green is him. And those are the messages from her to him, asking him for money, telling him to delete the messages.
Okay, so now we're at March 28th, 29th, and 30th, somewhere around there. You're up.
Yes, ma'am. So I was in the bedroom, he was in the living room. That's when we were exchanging those text messages, when he had admitted that he was in fact cheating on me and the woman was pregnant. When I received those text messages, I kind of put me into a panic attack.
You got angry.
Yeah, I got angry. I was kind of hyperventilating. I was like, you know.
Got it.
Yes, ma'am. So I was in the bedroom with the door locked. He came to the bedroom door, started banging on it, telling me to let him in. I did not open the door. I continued crying pretty hysterically. And that's when he proceeded to break through the door. He entered into the bedroom and immediately started assaulting me. He was hitting me. I was sitting on the edge of the bed. He grabbed me by my hair. He just kept...
Did you seek medical assistance?
Yes, I did.
Can I see the medical report?
I have the police report.
Who did you seek medical treatment from?
So I went to the hospital.
Just a second. Let me see the report from the hospital.
I don't have that.
It doesn't help me.
I don't have that with me.
And it doesn't help me.
Okay.
And it doesn't help me. Says she ultimately refused being transported to the hospital.
Yes, because
Not because. That's what it says.
No, yeah. I drove myself. I didn't want to go on.
I don't know that because you don't have a report.
Godwin Onyebujo has accused his child's mother, Deanna Williams, of assaulting him and lying to the police. Deanna claims she was the one assaulted.
Now, you left the hospital prior to treatment. Is that right?
Yes.
Just say yes or no. Yes, you left the hospital prior to treatment. Can I see what happened with this case? You were arrested.
Yeah, I was arrested.
You were arrested on this case, and that's the false arrest that you have.
False arrest, yes,
that's the false arrest that you have. May I please see the district attorney's write-up on that, or whatever you have that indicates the case was dismissed?
I think it's one of them. Okay, sorry. Let me double check on.
And while you're looking through documents, I'd like to see proof of the tickets that she got.
This was dismissed.
This incident occurred in April.
That's the last one she got arrested, when she broke the wall.
No. I understand.
Oh, that's a dismissal?
I'm talking about the dismissal.
It's right there, Your Honor.
Yeah, the city attorney decided that they were not going to prosecute this case and advised you that there was no need to report to court to answer the charges. All right, then I want you to tell me what happened in this April incident when she damaged your kitchen. I'm going to go from one to the other. You went back to the apartment after all this happened. You went back to the apartment in April. What for?
To pick up my clothes. Mr. Onyebujor said he had them in bags on the front porch.
And what happened when you got there?
When I got there, I contacted the police.
Why?
So they could meet me there so it could be a peaceful exchange. The dispatcher, I told...
Don't tell me what they told you or you told them. You got to the house.
I got to the house, the door was open.
Just a second. Were there bags on the porch?
No, ma'am, there was not.
Okay. The door was open in April. Now, you had, according to you, this violent attack in March. Stop looking through your papers. You had this violent incident in March.
Yes.
So you go back to the house, and you walked into the house because the door was open.
Yes.
And then what happened?
I started to collect my things.
How did you start to do that?
I went into the kitchen, and I was getting my things.
What things?
My blender, my...
No, that's not your clothes, madam.
Well, I had
That's not your clothes.
Okay.
That you said, I wanted to get my clothes, and he was going to put them in a bag. Now, you opened the door, you went into the kitchen, and you started to take... That's what you just told me.
The door was open.
The door was open. You went into the kitchen and started to take your things. What things? I started to take my blender.
All of my things.
Just a second. I don't know whose things they are, madam. You started to take things that weren't your clothes.
Okay.
And then what happened?
And then the brother saw me and told Mr. Onyebujor, who was in the restroom, that I was there.
And?
I started to quickly get out of the kitchen.
How did you do that?
I went to grab the stuff and I went out.
So you went to leave the kitchen with the stuff from the kitchen?
The blender, yes.
The blender. And?
Mr. Onyebujor came out of the bathroom and he attempted to take my phone. He lunged at me to take my phone. He had his hands...
Just a second. I thought, what was your phone there for? You had the blender.
I had the blender like this, and I had my phone like this.
Go ahead. So we went to take the phone.
So I dropped the blender, and I'm fighting to take my phone back from him. I believe he was trying to take my phone away.
I don't know what he was trying to do, madam.
Yeah, he was trying to take my phone.
You were fighting back and forth with your phone. You dropped the blender, and?
So then there by the stove there was a frying pan. I picked up the frying pan to I was gonna hit him. He backed off. I ran out of the apartment with nothing but my phone.
And no clothes.
No clothes.
Well, you came for your clothes. You should have taken your clothes.
Yeah, I'm kind of, just with everything going on, I was just very emotionally distraught. And
yeah, okay, fine. Now, were you driving the car when this ticket came in? Notice date April the 3rd. Is this the only ticket that you have?
That's the only one I could get out, but she has 2 more tickets.
Well, I don't know if she has or not, sir, because that's evidence. And evidence is the only thing that I work on. This is an old ticket, madam.
Yes, I paid the tickets. I have my bank statement.
Did you pay? Let me see that this ticket was paid.
Just let me know the date, please.
The citation date was November 30th, 2022.
And the notice date was...
And you parked in disabled parking.
No, Your Honor, that was him. He took the vehicle up to the mall, and that was him. That was his ticket.
You want to know something? You know how much I don't care? I actually think that the two of you deserve each other.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You want to tell me how it came about that the mother of your 2 children, one and one to be, how she came to marry your cousin?
I didn't know about that at first. We went to Africa before he started talking to him, because at that time we're not together. We separate many times, many occasions, because sometimes we'll break up, and she'll go back to her ex. It's always in and out of jail. So, and like I said, she has a previous.
How many times, Miss Williams, have you been to Africa?
Twice.
When?
February 2018.
And what did you go there for?
We went there to marry his brother.
And tell me what the circumstances were.
The circumstances were Godwin, persuaded me.
This is Godwin?
This is Godwin, yes, ma'am. My boyfriend. We were never broken up. Persuaded me to marry his brother so he could be able to come over here.
Oh.
And did you?
Yes, ma'am.
And did he come over here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and he's here.
And he's here.
Prior to February of 2018, had you ever met his cousin brother?
No, ma'am.
Okay, your case is dismissed, sir. So's yours. We're done here. You deserve each other.
This court is adjourned. Hello, Judge. Case 2165, Atkins versus DePanger.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Tell me your first name.
Destiny.
How old are you, Destiny?
I'm 14.
And you don't have a driver's license.
No, ma'am.
So you know you're not allowed to drive a car?
Yes, I do.
You took your mother's car without permission.
I did.
You were with a girlfriend,
Yes, ma'am.
who also is your age. Is not an answer.
Yes, ma'am.
And you stole your mother's car on what date?
October 7th or 8th,
Where was your mother?
sleeping.
What time did you steal your mother's car?
Around 4, 3, around that time.
What?
Like, I say about 3:30. I'm sorry.
The morning, afternoon, or evening?
In the morning, a.m.
3:30 in the morning.
Yes, ma'am.
And you had an accident.
Yes, ma'am.
You had an accident with this lady's car.
Yes, ma'am.
And instead of stopping, you took off, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And it was a bad accident.
Yes, ma'am.
And was the damage to the side of your car? Was the damage to the side of your car?
No, ma'am.
Passenger side?
No, ma'am.
Don't play. Passenger side? No. Driver's side? No. Where was the damage to your car?
The front.
Front. Okay. So now that I've got the clear picture, you stole your mother's car, you have no driver's license, whatever insurance your mother had on the car would certainly not cover this accident because you're an unauthorized driver, you have no driver's license. Your mother certainly wasn't going to report you to the police for stealing her car. I don't think you did that, right? And the damage to your car was in the front. Front. You're going to tell me, but just so that I know. The damage to your car was on the side.
Yes, ma'am.
Of course. You see, cars don't slide together. Do you know what I mean? One car hits another. Do you understand?
Yes.
Is not an answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Better. Okay, so now we're going to go to October 8th.
Yes, Your Honor.
You were on your way to work?
Yes, ma'am.
And Miss Atkins, tell me what happened.
I was going to work. It was 5:30 in the morning. I was going up Franklin Road. I got to Brookville Road.
You were driving straight?
Yes, I'm going up Franklin Road. I get to a light at Brookville Road. I make a stop because the light is red. I'm sitting at the red light. The light changes green. I proceed to go through the light at the green light. The defendant is coming the opposite way from me. She's not in the turning lane, she's in the regular straight lane. So I see her coming at a rapid speed, but I'm thinking she's going straight. So I proceed to go through the light. By the time I get mid-light, I don't know what happened, but she decides to turn. And when she turns right into me, and hits me.
Okay, and then what happened?
And then I hear her and her friends her friend is hollering, "Run, Destiny, we have to go. Run, Destiny, we have to go." I'm still trying to get myself together, and I'm looking, and all I could do was grab my phone and dial 911 to call the police.
And by that time, they were gone?
And by that time, they were gone.
Miss Atkins, how did you find her?
We called to the insurance company.
No, wait a second.
Okay.
How did you find her? They took off.
Oh, they took off.
They took off.
Her car was still at the accident.
So they ran and left the car?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
So my husband came. I had called my husband as well. He came to the accident scene. He took pictures of the cars and the plates, and we contacted our insurance. Our insurance gave us the name, and I went on Facebook, and I looked her up, and I seen Destiny, who I had seen run from the accident. And we found out she was hiring for a job. So inboxed her, found out where she worked, and we went to her job.
You mean her mother?
Her mother.
Her mother.
My daughter inboxed you and asked you what...
Don't speak to her.
I'm sorry.
Don't speak to her.
Okay.
What?
Listen to me. Whatever you say is no good. Just understand that. Your daughter stole your car. She's 14 years old. She could have killed people. She could have killed people. There's no excuse for that. There's no excuse for her stealing your car. Has she ever done it before?
No.
But she did.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And she did, and she had an accident because she didn't have a driver's license. She lacked state permission to be behind the wheel of a car. Let's go. Did you know your daughter had been in an accident? Of course you did, because she left the car there, right?
Yes.
So you knew she had been in an accident?
Yes.
Did you contact the police?
No.
Why not?
Tanya Atkins claims vehicle owner Kelly DePanger owes for damages after Kelly's 14-year-old daughter crashed into her car.
So she didn't have a driver's license. She lacked state permission to be behind the wheel of a car.
But she still harassed me, though.
What?
At my job. She harassed me at my job.
Just a second. Did she contact you first?
As far as...
Just as anything, contact,
no.
Email. So
I don't know who her daughter was.
You're going to, what?
I didn't know who her daughter was trying to contact me on Facebook.
I don't. Did you know your daughter had been in an accident? Let's go. Did you know your daughter had been in an accident? Of course you did, because she left the car there, right?
Yes.
So you knew she had been in an accident?
Yes.
Right? Did you contact the police?
No.
Why not?
She came to the house freaking out and, you know, in panic of her getting in an accident. And my daughter
So what did you, just a second, so what did you do? What did you do? Your daughter stole your car. I see the picture of the accident. The picture of the accident clearly shows that your daughter hit her car. Your daughter's car is the gray one.
This is the very first time
Just a
I've
second.
seen this.
Well, I'm telling you, when you have front-end damage, that means you hit somebody. She's wrong from the get-go. So I'm asking you, she came home, you told somebody, did you call the police and say, listen, my 14-year-old daughter took my car without permission, there was a bad accident, I hope nobody was hurt. Did you do that?
No, I did not.
No, of course not. You waited for somebody to find you.
No, not necessarily.
Well, what do you mean not necessarily? Unless you contacted somebody, did you go back to
I was under the impression that they called the police.
Just a second, what would give you that impression? Your daughter ran away.
She said that cops were called.
How did she know the cops were called? She ran away. What?
The cops were there. A cop had spoke to me that night. I was
after the accident.
No, before. I mean, yeah, after the accident.
But the accident happened 3:30 in the morning. The officer spoke to you at night. That's after the accident.
Yes, ma'am. But there's a fire department right by where we got into an accident at, and there was a police car parked while I was fleeing the scene. And he had asked me what I was doing, and I told him that I was fine and that there had just been a car accident. And he went.
And the policeman told you to leave?
No.
You stopped and spoke to a policeman that there had been this kind of car accident, that you were driving with that, and the policeman told you to leave? Okay. Did you notify your insurance company?
Unfortunately.
That's either a yes or a no.
No, because I don't have insurance. It lapsed.
Double whammy. So your daughter follows in her mother's foot. This is the example that you're setting. She's driving your car without a license, and you have a car that has no insurance. That's a great lesson. And so what happens is a perfect storm. Your car without insurance, driven by your unlicensed minor child, causes a stupendous accident where someone could have been killed. You don't call the police. Did you go and look at the scene of the accident? It's either a yes or a no.
Not the scene. No.
The scene. I'm talking about the scene of the accident. Your daughter came home. Did she tell you right away what happened? Shh. What time did your daughter get home?
About 7 or 8 in the morning.
Well, where did she go after the accident? Did you ask her?
She was waiting for a ride. She had woke me up in my sleep and told me about the accident.
So the accident that happened 3:30 in the morning, according to her, or 5:30. So she was driving around for a couple of hours before the accident happened 5:30. An hour and a half later, she woke you up?
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, ma'am.
And did she tell you where the accident happened?
Yes.
And what did you do? 7:30 in the morning. She had a terrible accident. She told you where it happened. Did she tell you that she ran away from the accident?
Yes.
What did you do?
Well, she does have severe asthma.
Just to say, I don't care whether she has severe asthma or not. It's irrelevant to me. I'm asking you what you did.
Right.
What you did. Your daughter calls you, not from the house.
She comes in the house.
Oh, I thought you said she called you. Not important. She came into the house at 7:30. She told you that you stole the car. went for a joyride with her friend, whatever language she used, and she had a very bad accident. The car was demolished, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you do? 7:30 in the morning. I want to know what you did. 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock. What did you do?
She wakes me up. I'm freaking out. She's freaking out.
I don't care freaking out. It's
did you
not
do?
relevant. Don't speak to your mother. I'm asking your mother a question. What did you do?
As soon as she told me that, I was freaking out about it, and I went into mommy mode because she was outside in hours, waiting for a ride. So, and she was having asthma problems. She was in a panic. So I immediately, I was trying to figure out what's going on, but I also wanted to make sure that my daughter was okay.
Oh, that takes a half hour.
So I
That
went
takes a half
to
hour.
her
What did you
room,
do at 8 o'clock?
and I gave her a breathing treatment.
What's that? After you gave her the breathing treatment, that's 8 o'clock. Now it's 8:15.
As we're giving her a treatment, we are looking through the phone, internet and looking to see what tow companies, what place would have our car. And we finally figure out where our car was, and I got a ride to go look at my car.
What time?
I would say maybe about 9, 10 o'clock.
Okay. When was the call to the police? Now you took care of your daughter, you gave her a breathing treatment. You looked through the internet. When did you call the police? Your daughter was involved in a hit and run.
I was under assumption that the police were called.
Who told you that?
That the police was at the scene.
Just a second. Who told you that? She ran away.
Well, I do know that the car got sent to a police, impound, towing company.
You didn't know that until you looked it up.
Right.
I'm asking you when you called the police.
So
the answer is you did not.
No, I did not.
Okay. Now, so I don't have to go look any further. No insurance, no driver's license, fled the scene, her fault. How dare you have a car on the road without insurance, and how dare you place other people at risk by getting behind the wheel of a car when you're 14 years old and have no business doing that.
Tanya Atkins is accusing vehicle owner Kelly DePanger of refusing to pay for damages after Kelly's 14-year-old daughter crashed into Tanya's car.
So now you have insurance.
Yes, ma'am.
And there was a note on the car.
Yes, ma'am.
The car is totaled. It looks like it's a total car to me.
Yes, ma'am.
How much was left on the note for the car?
$35,000.
Was left on the note?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll take a look at those papers in a second. Then what was the check from insurance?
They paid $30,000.
Can I see, please?
I don't have my glasses, and they're in my purse. I'm sorry.
Maybe your husband can help you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So am I correct that they paid you $35,749? Is that what they paid you?
That's what they paid the dealership. Yes, ma'am.
$35,749. And the amount financed was $39,800?
That is correct.
And you hadn't made any payments?
Yes, ma'am. We've made payments.
This is $39,826, but you made payments, so that would reduce the amount of the loan.
This is the original copy of when we purchased the vehicle. And then I have a list of the payments that we made right here.
What I want to know is you're suing for the difference between what was paid
Yes, ma'am.
to the loan company and what you still owed that you had to make good on, correct?
Correct.
How much money did you have to make good on to the loan company? It's not $5,000.
No.
How much money did you have to pay the loan company to clear the debt?
What we had was called a gap insurance.
So you had gap?
Yes, ma'am.
So all you had was a deductible. So all you had to pay was if you had gap.
Which was a $500 deductible.
Just a second.
Sorry.
That's all. That's what I want to know. You had gap insurance, so the gap covered whatever the
gap
difference.
didn't cover the complete loss of the vehicle because they said we didn't have uninsured motorists, so we had to come out of pocket.
So now I want you to show me
Yes, ma'am.
what your out of pocket was. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not understanding this. You want to tell me what the out of pocket is? Gap paid. How much?
The rest besides 17, what we owe.
$17.56.
Yes, ma'am. That's what we owe out of pocket.
Okay, not $5,000.
No, ma'am.
$17.56.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, that certainly has to make you whole. I knew it wasn't $5,000 because
Yes.
it says you had gap insurance.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. $17.56. Now, you were taken from that accident scene to the hospital?
Yes, ma'am.
Which hospital?
It's a Community East.
Were you taken by ambulance?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you stay in the hospital?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did you have any uncovered medical bills?
No, ma'am.
Were they all covered?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So your out-of-pocket expenses $1,756.
Yes, ma'am.
And the discomfort that brought you to the hospital?
Yes, ma'am. And I have a lost wage paper from my employer as well.
I'd like to see it.
Also, if I may say, ma'am, we had to rent a car, obviously, because her car was totaled, and the bill is in there as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, your out-of-pocket expenses, including your lost wages because you didn't work a full shift, you are an hourly employee. Those expenses, your car expenses, the $17.56 all amount to about $3,000. You're suing the defendant for $8,000, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm awarding you the $8,000. How dare you have a car on the road without insurance, and how dare you place other people at risk by getting behind the wheel of a car when you're 14 years old and have no business doing that? Do you own or rent your own home?
We rent.
You rent. Do you work?
At the moment, no.
Were you working then?
Yes.
Okay. What happened to your job? That's what you're going to tell me. You're going to tell me she came and she harassed you at your job. Tell me how.
They both did. Well,
No, not both. Her.
The
Plaintiff.
Well, her husband is the one that did the talking.
And he said?
And he told me, I have never seen the accident until now, so I have no idea. I believe my daughter.
Well, you shouldn't. Why would you believe a thief?
No.
And a liar?
Believe what happened.
But why would you believe a thief and a liar? She may be a thief and a liar, but she's not stupid. If the plaintiff hit her, she would have stayed at the scene because she got hit. Doesn't that make sense to you? That if she was the one who was in the right and got hit by the plaintiff, she would have remained. She said she saw a police car there, and she spoke to a policeman. So if she was in the right in the accident, what'd she leave for? Okay, you don't know. Judgment for the plaintiff, $8,000. We're done.
This court is adjourned.
Have a seat, everyone.
Case 2170, Jali versus Calderon Nepomuceno.
Thank you. You're welcome. Oh, my goodness. Calderon.
Hello.
What's your first name?
Amante.
Amante.
Yeah.
Good. It's much easier than your last name for me to pronounce. Mr. Giglio, this roughly is what the case is about. You and Miss Calderon were in a relationship for a period of time. You decided to take an apartment. You were both on the lease. So far, correct?
Correct.
Your arrangement with Miss Calderon, which seems to be consistent in both your complaint and your answer, is that you had a much better paying job. She was going to provide the food and some other stuff for the house, and you were going to be covering the rent when you lived together, which you did.
Correct.
There came a time when Armante, who was a friend of yours, came to live with you. According to you, he was going to help out with the rent.
Correct.
He came, he lived with you, he helped out with the rent for maybe a period of time, and then he helped himself to your girlfriend.
Correct.
Now they're a couple. When you were no longer a couple with Miss Calderon, she stayed in the apartment for a period of time, but then they both left.
Correct.
And you're suing both of them for rent and for the return of 2 cats that they took when they left. You claim the cats are yours.
That's correct.
That's what the case is about. And some cat expenses in the event that I let them keep the cat. Cats. 2 cats. So when did you and Miss Calderon sign a lease together?
We signed the lease together at the end of July with the landlord present.
July of 2022?
July of 2021. Correct.
And it was for a year?
Correct.
And you had a job working for whom, sir?
I worked for a company called Steris.
What do they do?
They provide medical equipment to hospitals all over the world.
How long have you been working for them?
I going to have 8 years under my belt this year.
And when you moved into the apartment in July of 2021, what kind of work was Ms. Calderon doing?
At the time, she was working at I want to say an animal hotel.
It was a pet daycare boarding facility.
Okay. Were you an hourly employee?
I was an hourly employee.
And I am correct that when you moved in July, your arrangement was that you were going to pay the rent.
That was
the arrangement.
Correct.
When did Armante come to live with you?
About August to...
That's
right.
correct.
Shh.
He...
Just...
Amante was going to be our third roommate.
You mean 1, 2, 3?
Correct.
Well, you're not roommates, really. You and the defendant, Miss Calderon, were not roommates. You shared a room.
We shared a room and
Armante was going to live where?
In another room.
And what was your arrangement with Armante with regard to paying rent?
We would split the rent 3 ways.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And how much was your share of the rent?
I would say approximately $927.
How long did you live there?
I was there when they signed the lease. I watched it all happen when they signed the lease. I came in, they signed
Okay.
everything.
Well, you didn't sign the lease.
I did not.
But you were there from the beginning?
Yes.
And it was your agreement with the plaintiff that you would pay 1/3 of the rent?
Yes.
Great.
We asked the landlord
Okay,
to.
so, hey, try not to hold each other's hands. Let's do the coochie someplace else. So you agreed with the plaintiff that despite the fact that you were not on the lease, you were going to assume the responsibility of 1/3 of the rent, $927.
Yes.
So you moved in July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. You left in April?
Yeah.
So you were there for 9 months?
Yes.
Did you pay rent for the 9 months?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that correct?
He paid rent for about the 7.5 months.
Okay. And then you left?
Yes.
Why did you leave?
I decided to leave because he decided to go to another place he was offered. So
what do you
I
mean he
could-
decided to go to another place
He
that was...
got a place from his grandparents in another city. So I couldn't hold down the rent with her. So I decided to leave to save money and go back to my parents' house.
Now, Mr. Jalil, you see, you don't make up a story like that, like he just told me. A lot of that has the ring of truth to it. Where are you living now?
My grandparents' house in an in-law unit.
So when did you tell them that you were going to a different place?
In March.
When did you leave?
I left in July.
Did you let him know that you were staying until the end of the lease?
I
what?
I discussed with them that I would be leaving, but I would stick around to help them find either a different location or even suggesting that we all went back to our respective families just to, call it.
Mr. Jalil, this isn't working for you. I have to tell you something, sir. This case is not working for you at all. And it's only because Mr. Ramonte is very direct with me that you're suing them for $10,000. Where does that come from in your mind? Your agreement with her was you were going to pay the rent. You're never out of pocket. Your agreement was you were going to pay the rent. He paid his rent when he was there. He paid his 1/3. You then told them you were leaving. That's a whole different story than what you wrote in your complaint, Mr. Giulio. Do you understand?
Correct.
It's a whole different story. So, at best, Armante would owe you for 3 months' rent if they just left. But you told them that you were leaving. Now, when did you find out that they were a couple?
I found out at the end of April.
Were you all living together?
Yes.
So you just had 2 months left to the lease. So he was paying you. He paid you in March. You had May, June. You signed the lease in July. So it was over at the end of June, June 30th.
It would have been over at the end of July, Your Honor.
Well, she doesn't owe you any money for rent. At most, he owes you 2 months' rent. Tell me why you left.
My job doesn't pay that well, so I decided to go back to my parents' house.
When you took this apartment, this expensive apartment that was almost $3,000 a month rent, had you had a discussion with Armante about moving in with you before?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Jalil, I'm reading your complaint because something wasn't registering right with me. You say you moved into the apartment together in August of 2021. Then you go through a whole bunch of stuff about a cat and then another adopted cat. You said in October we adopted a second cat. Around this same time, a third roommate moved in to shoulder some of the rent. Well, that's not true. He moved in right at the beginning.
And that was...
That was what?
That was...
A mistake.
That was a mistake.
Okay. But Armante acknowledges that he agreed right at the beginning. He volunteered the fact that he was there at the lease signing because it was agreed at the lease signing that he was going to pay a third of the rent. So, sir, you owe him rent as long as you show me that you've paid the rent. You moved out in July?
Yes.
And you paid your rent through July, or were you evicted?
No, I paid my rent in July.
Through July?
Yes.
Okay. 1854. Armante, you owe him $1,854. That's for 2 months' rent. Got it? Okay. I'm not subtracting anything because you stole his girlfriend.
That's fair.
What were you requesting when you filed your small claims case?
Either the return of both cats or $5,000.
That's not happening for you, Mr. Jalil.
And later today.
There were restrictions put on the space.
No.
You have to pay attention.
Okay.
Sir, because what I'm suggesting is really in your favor.
Oh, okay. Let me. Okay.
Kamar Jalil claims his former roommates, Katie Calderon and Amante Nepomuceno, are wrongfully keeping his cats and owe him rent money.
Now let's deal with the issue with the cats. She doesn't owe you any rent. That was not your agreement with her. You moved out in July. August, September, October, November, December. 5 months ago, she's had both cats, right?
Correct.
She says they're her cats. When did you first file a small claims case?
September of 2022.
What were you requesting when you filed your small claims case? Be careful.
I was requesting either the return of both cats or $5,000, which was the accumulated expense of not just the cats, but also the expenses of our dogs as well. So any animal expenses for the time.
That's not happening for you, Mr. Jalil. When the cats were either registered or went to the vet, whose name is on the sheet as owner?
I believe it was Miss Calderon.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
And she owns the cats, and she's had them for the last 5 months. I suggest that you go and adopt 2 more if you want some more cats. Do you understand?
Yes.
You were living together as a couple. However, your friend Armante has to pay you for the couple of months' rent that he didn't because he says, not you, he volunteered that was your agreement from the very beginning. So he owes you $1,854. We're finished. Thank you very much. She posted nude pictures of you on the internet.
Nude pictures to my mom. It's been a whole year of this, of being harassed.
Your Honor, don't speak. A woman scorned will do nothing short of getting even.
This is Judy Justice. Previously on Judy Justice.
According to both of you, that you decide to do as a side hustle is breed little Frenchy bulldogs. You do not take $3,500 out if you can't pay your own rent to buy a dog.
He had sent me a derogatory text saying thanks for paying the rent, and he had me distraught, and I got out of there.
You had a disagreement about the rent in September of 2022.
It was more than the rent, ma'am.
Whatever you had a disagreement about, you say he assaulted you.
I've never been charged with assault on her or nothing.
And now, the conclusion. Amina Thornton claims her former client, Donnie Alford, stole her property and owes her dog registration papers. Donnie says Amina defamed him on social media.
Okay, you say he assaulted you. Tell me where you were when this took place.
The assault took place in the apartment.
So you were there in the apartment?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me the circumstances.
The studio equipment, everything was still there. He was getting evicted, and I wanted the belongings back. I wanted the things to come back to me because they belonged to me, and that was the agreement. I have text messages. You stop paying everything. I have nothing. You hold the upper hand. When you leave, you won't have a problem bouncing back. You have your husband. I have
Can
nothing.
I see just one or two of the texts? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, can I say something?
Absolutely.
I'm not no homeless bum. I make money. I'm one of the top entertainers in Atlanta. So therefore, I do make money. I have my own money. When I met her, I was passionate about music. I took her on. And
took her on for what?
Because I liked her aggression when it came to getting stuff done. So I asked her to manage me. I had a job at the time. I had a place to lay my head at the time. It was her decision for me to stop working. And I have in a text message where she said the agreement was for me to pay your rent, take care of necessities, and don't exceed over anything over, I think, like $8,000 a month. So I was working, doing shows, doing that, and the money that she would put in my account and I was get, that was from me, like that's actually like me working for being an artist.
I thought you were working.
The agreement was for me to stop working so I could focus strictly on music.
Well, that's good. You told me you were one of the top artists.
Yes.
So what'd you need her money
top
for?
Entertainer. So I stopped dancing and I focused nothing on music, recording as an artist, singing. So therefore.
So you stopped doing what you made money, and that's what you said.
Yes.
You stopped to focus on just singing.
Yes, because I had the financial backing to do it.
Mr. Alford, why do you think she was doing that, sir?
She did it because it was lucrative. At first, it was business, business. Then I seen that she started taking interest in me. She never stayed at an apartment, none of that. So, yes, I overlooked the interest part, but we still had a plan. Let's get this music done. I'll get my money on the back end from the music, and that's how it was. That's exactly how it was for the long run. Then she started getting emotional. Whenever I go out, then the personal started coming in. I started backing up a little bit.
Where did you get all this money to buy the dogs?
It was from money I already had from dancing, my side money, and then money that she was giving me from working. I'm an artist. That's if I ask somebody to do something, I'm an artist, right?
I actually have the whole picture, Mr. Alford. I have her whole picture, which is, sad, a little bit desperate. And I have your picture. I have the whole picture. She's getting her dogs back. Can I see the email, please, that you referenced, Ms. Thornton? Yes. Other than that, I'm ready to move on to his counterclaim. You're getting the registration papers for your 2 dogs. Do you have a police report?
Yep. I have my restraining order. I have an active restraining order.
Was there a hearing on the restraining order?
It's active.
Answer this question. Stop looking because you can't concentrate on my question. With regard to the assault allegation against the defendant, which took place in December of 2022, according to you, if there is an active restraining order, there had to have been either a consent by him for the restraining order or a trial. There was a trial.
Yes.
Did you testify at the trial?
I did.
Just a second, you're looking at papers again.
Yes, ma'am.
Did he testify at the trial?
She did.
Did the court, after the hearing, Mr. Alford, issue a restraining order?
Yes, they granted both. They told both of us to leave alone.
No. So what you're saying is you filed for a restraining order too?
Yes. No.
You did?
Yes.
No.
And then
Okay.
when she...
Shh. Mr. Alford, pay attention. This was my bailiwick. This is my home territory. She files for a protective order. She's going to show me her application for a protective order. She's also going to show me the final order of protection.
Yes.
I want you to start looking for your application for your protective order and your final order of protection.
I have my phone, please.
Your phone? I don't want to see it in a phone. I want to see the order.
Amina Thornton has accused her former client, Donnie Alford, of refusing to return registration papers for her French bulldogs. Donnie is countersuing for the value of the dogs and online defamation.
This is 6-month protective order is what it says. What I don't have is a signed order by the judge.
Okay, I'll give that to you. Just 1 second, Your Honor.
May I please have, Mr. Alford, your application for a protective order, for your application where it says Donnie Alford against Amina Thornton and your final protective order?
No, so I didn't get a final protective order.
Well, she did.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the judge told us both to
I
leave
don't
each other
care.
alone.
Don't tell me what the judge told you, sir. You're wasting my time. After the trial, the judge granted her a 6-month protective order.
Yes, both of us. Well, yes, her, yes.
Right.
Right.
Well, then I don't have to get into that. The judge already found that you assaulted her. found the allegations or some of the allegations that were true.
Some.
I don't care. Some or all. She's suing you for an assault.
Okay.
The court found that there was sufficient assault, menacing, threatening, or harassing to issue her a final order of protection for 6 months. You have no police report, correct?
No, I did not file a police.
Okay. And the medical records on which this assault was based, a visit to the doctor, anything else?
It's just the emergency room and the follow-up.
I'd like to see it. For what date is that?
That's just the bill, Your Honor. I couldn't get I can go into My Healthy Vet. I had to go to the VA.
This is a statement date. This was just this month.
I know.
Yeah, you just got this bill for this case. Okay, throw this away. Okay, now we're going to get to his counterclaim. Put all your papers away. On your claim, the court's going to issue an order, and the order is that the 2 dogs, you'll give the names of the dogs to the clerk and all the other materials so that the AKC will issue the registration papers in your name for those 2 dogs. He has a counterclaim seeking the return of the 2 dogs, which he's not getting, 3 puppies, which he's not getting because the dogs aren't his, and defamation of character. Now, Mr. Alford, you make a claim here that, if true, is very problematic for her. You say that after this whole thing sort of broke up, the managerial relationship as well as the, albeit brief, social relationship, she defamed you by publishing someplace the fact that you have AIDS, carry multiple STDs, and hit women. So the court that heard the protective order may or may not have found that one of the actions that you did was hit women, so I'm going to forget about that in this. But I want you to show me proof that she published facts that you either have AIDS or carry multiple STDs.
So here's this.
Now just look at it carefully and make sure what you're giving me supports your statement that she alleged either one of those 2 things.
It's this one right here. It's
That's
the main one.
Just a second. Is that the only one that you have?
No, I have a lot, but that's the main one where
Not main one. Not main one. I asked you for anything that you have where she published that you either had AIDS or multiple STDs.
Okay.
Your Honor,
don't speak.
Okay.
That's the only one for the AIDS and STDs that
May
I
I
have.
see them, please?
Yeah.
I don't understand this one, Sarah. You can sort of explain that to me. This is what I have. AKA, this is author Amina Thornton. I see something that's ascribed to her with her name on it. This doesn't say that you have either AIDS or STDs, sir. This says that you are a domestic violent abuser. She says that you forced her to have sex. Thief, womanizer, trash can trash. He is a deadbeat dad. Do you have 5 kids?
He has 8 with 7 women.
Okay. So just a second. Do you have 5?
I have 5.
Okay.
8.
Police are going to be at this show to pick you up. Jarvis Alpha. Well, this isn't it.
I also have an e-blast that
This
she
doesn't
sent
say you
out
have AIDS.
saying that I
What does that say?
This is somebody, I think, separate from the plaintiff that's messaging the defendant saying that this account that they screenshotted attributed to the plaintiff is replying under this third-party person's tweet saying that he has AIDS, a rapist.
That's hearsay.
Abuse.
Okay.
I also have it where she did an e-blast, was saying that I was dead, I have herpes, and she
May I
sent
see
it.
that?
Yes, that's the whole e-blast letter.
May I see it? So far, these don't establish your cause of action for defamation. Would you show this to the plaintiff, please?
And my mom got that. She sent.
Did you, just a second, did you write that?
No, I did not.
Well, who does it say wrote it?
It doesn't say I wrote it.
What phone number does it say it comes from?
Oh, this is my husband's number. And I have the text message right here where my husband has said, this is not my wife's phone, this is my phone.
Ma'am, if you go on the affidavit or the protection order that you got stated from her, under there we have to list our numbers as contacts. You could verify that she has that number on that contact list.
And me and my husband live together.
Maybe. Okay, may I have it, please?
That's the text message that was sent to him in February.
Where's your husband?
Go find him.
Shh, listen to me. Whoever wrote this, you or your husband, it's nasty. It's nasty, right? It doesn't say that the defendant has AIDS. You can't accuse somebody of that just to be spiteful. You don't in this, but it's just a nasty, nasty email. And you say it was not authored by you.
It was not.
Could have been authored.
He has sent my husband text messages saying that he has had sex with me, made love with me, all kind of stuff.
Oh, you know what? Are you and your husband still together?
I am.
Can I?
24 years.
24 years. All right. It was a mistake.
It was a very big one.
Big mistake.
A very big one.
It was a very big mistake.
Yes, the biggest mistake of my life.
Yeah, very big mistake. Who are you living with now, Mr. Alford?
I stay with my girlfriend.
Is that your
No.
girlfriend?
Yes.
Okay. And what are you doing?
I breed dogs.
You breed dogs?
Frenchies, yes.
How many dogs do you have?
We have 3, but we currently have 2 French bulldogs and about to get another one.
I just feel sorry for all these dogs. It doesn't appear to me that it's really such a good hobby.
I'm not the person she's trying to make me out to, and I hope that you allow me to show you that.
Listen, Mr. Alford, I want you to clearly understand me. I'm not getting into extrinsic material, sir. She says you have 8 children. You say you had 5. If you have 5 children, and what you're saying is you spent thousands of dollars on dogs in the same time period where someone else is paying your rent so that you can develop your media career, how much money are you paying in child support, Mr. Alford?
I paid $25 for one child. And I
$25 or what?
$25 a month for one
A month, just a second.
And then I pay $145 for another child. And that's only because...
A month?
Yes.
A month. Well, I have to tell you, sir, I have a 4-pound Shih Tzu, and I couldn't feed her for $25 a week.
Amina Thornton claims her former client, Donnie Alford, stole her property and owes her dog registration papers. Donnie says Amina defamed him on social media.
Go.
I'm an excellent father. I take care of my business. I do that. If I was a bum, she wouldn't have came to me and either gave me money to do what I had to do. I'm not that character. I'm not that guy. I take care of my responsibilities. I've been taking my responsibilities before I moved to Atlanta.
You can't.
Yes,
sir.
I can.
On $25 a month, you're not supporting a child.
I'm excellent.
Don't speak. I want you to be quiet.
This is his
I
career.
don't want you to speak.
Yes, ma'am.
That's not the only thing I pay. I take care of my kids.
Tell me what you...
I take care of my
just
kids.
Just a second. How do you take care of your kids?
I provide for them.
How?
If somebody needs something, then I do it.
You mean like if they need a pair of sneakers?
If anything, I go get my kids. I have 2 kids. I came to Georgia because my kids is in Georgia.
Good. This is the ruling of the court. The ruling of the court is that we will notify AKC with regard to the...
Nothing about the defamation of character or none of that.
To the dogs. Sir.
My girlfriend is a teacher. She sent a letter to the superintendent and threatened that, oh, well, you have a rapist in the house, and sent letters and pictures, nude pictures to my mom, posted on internet. Like, I'm...
Just a second. Did you post nude pictures? Put it down. Put your thing down.
This is stuff I bought for his kid.
Do you understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
Now you're being annoying. Did you post nude pictures of him on the internet?
No, Your Honor, he has an OnlyFans account.
I'm dismissing your case the next time you say a word. Do you understand? I'm going to dismiss your case. You'll be without the registration for the puppies. Do you understand?
This is where she sent people the text message, and you can see it has a little nudity in it, but I didn't want to make it big, obviously, because we're in the courtroom. But you can see where I'm naked in here. She sent my military ID to people. It's been like this. And then I have text message where I tell her to leave me alone. And all she does is say, oh, not until I get my dog papers, not until this happens, not until that. You wanted an enemy. I have all of this.
He's never been in the military.
Do you understand what I said? I'm going to dismiss your case the next time you say a word.
I don't understand, man.
Just a second. The next time you say a word, I'm going to dismiss your case. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Mr. Alford, what you're claiming, sir, and I'm going to do this very quickly, what you're claiming, and I can imagine that this is a course of conduct that... What do you want?
I don't want anything.
Then take the finger down. I understand, Mr. Alford, that if what you're saying is that she's embarked upon a campaign to harass and embarrass you, look at me, Mr. Alford, what precipitated that? What precipitated this campaign of harassment? Because now you know how to go to court to get a protective order. Did you ever bring these allegations to the judge who heard the application for a protective order? That's either a yes or a no.
There is an open case that I can't discuss, but she has been locked up because she has came to my home and assaulted me and stuff like that and destroyed property. But
So, just a second. So, when you say there's an open case, where is that open case?
Fulton County.
Is it a criminal case?
Yes.
On what date was she arrested?
I don't know the exact date.
Do you know on what month and day and date you were arrested?
April 12th of 2022.
My God, you people. Was the issue with her the papers for the dogs?
No.
What was the issue? Because I think you said that before. She wanted the papers for the dogs.
The issue is that she wanted something from me and didn't get that. You know, because if it was the situation with just the dogs or anything, then she would have been left me alone. If I harassed her, if I raped her, if I did all this stuff to her, why is she still coming to me? I'm not coming to her. It's been a whole year of this, of being harassed. Your kids get involved. I didn't even know the dog had puppies. I don't follow her. She's sending me pictures of I got the dogs have puppies, woo, woo.
Well,
like all of this.
I'm going to explain something to you, Mr. Alford. You know, I could be wrong. I was last wrong in about 1947. I remember I ordered the wrong flavor ice cream from the Good Humor Man. You each wanted something different from this relationship. That's crystal clear to me. Whatever her motivation was, clearly was not your motivation. And eventually, the realization was, how old are you?
I'm 35.
How old are you?
46.
Okay. 46 doesn't go into 35. I learned that. 35 goes into 46. Okay? So eventually, it didn't pan out, and there's lots of bad feelings. Going into a business with Frenchies, I actually just feel sorry for the dogs. But if there was any irritant, Mr. Alford, any irritant whatsoever that involved the registration papers for the dogs, you should have let her have them.
No.
Because this is not a question, this is now a ruling. You should have let her have them because a woman scorned will do nothing short of getting even. Men are just happy to walk away. A woman scorned is a whole different thing. And what I'm telling you, sir, if the one irritant was giving her the papers for the dog, which there is no way you paid for these dogs.
I did.
A penny. No way you paid for these dogs. You weren't even paying your own rent. Anyway, the ruling of the court is you get the registration papers for the dogs. Everything else is dismissed. We're done.
This court is adjourned.
At first, it was just business, and then it started getting personal.
The main thing was my dogs. They are my family.
I had stuff tied to the dogs and business, and she had stuff tied to the dog, and we both didn't want to lose anything.
He chose to live on lies.
It's hard to see him go, but it's even more hard that I'm still out here as this bad guy.
And if you're living on lies, then truth is never going to prevail.
You know, be careful about who you work with.
The time he assaulted me, that's when we fell out and it became an issue.
I feel sorry for the dogs because that's what she's going to do. She's going to breed them and throw them in the trash, like she said.
I love my dogs. My kids love my dogs. And we take care of them.
I don't think anyone with that type of financial picture should be able to spend $3,500 per dog on Frenchies to take up a new breeding hobby, which, as we've seen, is not a hobby. That is a business, a profession that requires an immense amount of specialized knowledge.
And care.
And care.
Especially
and time.
for that breed.
Especially for that breed.
People should really not take on as a side hustle breeding whatever dog there is of the month. It's not fair.
It's not a fad. It's not
a fad. You know, I can't even imagine the living conditions of the 5 dogs that the plaintiff has and the 5 puppies and the 3 that he now has with the new girlfriend. Find another side hustle. Take up crocheting.
Larissa Quella Ehlers is suing business owners Ernie and Sonia Gallego for a refund on custom T-shirts.
Court come to order. All rise.
Have a seat, please.
Case 2014, Koala Ehlers versus Gallegos.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Your last name is Ehlers?
Ehlers.
Ehlers.
Yes.
You have a son.
I do.
And he plays a sport.
He does.
What kind of a sport does he play?
He is in asphalt racing.
Is he on a team?
We have our own team. It's called Lionheart Racing.
And how many people are on the team?
He is the sole driver, but we have a pit crew of approximately 8.
And he doesn't wear a uniform. When he
wears
drives.
a race suit, yes.
He wears a race suit.
Correct.
So the T-shirts that you ordered from the defendant were for the 8 and crew.
It was to sell. My son has a congenital heart defect, and he was treated when he was very young at Chalk Hospital. So we sell shirts to donate the proceeds to Chalk Hospital.
To whom?
We sell shirts to fans, to the pit crew, to family, friends.
Well, pit crew is only 8 people. I assume you give them a shirt.
We do.
Yeah, of course. So the other ones you sell, if you could sell. How many years have you been selling these shirts?
2 years.
And last year, who made the T-shirts for you?
A place called Rush Order Tees.
Would you look that up, please?
Sure. It's an online T-shirt ordering.
And when they came last year, how many did you order?
We ordered 200 last year.
How many did you sell?
We sold all of them.
And how much were they? A piece?
They were $25 a piece.
To make?
To make 13, I believe.
So you were able to give a lot of money that year to your favorite charity.
Correct.
Why didn't you go back to Rush Order Tees this year?
Sonia, the defendant.
No, I'm asking you, were satisfied with your product?
I was. And I was actually in the process of getting ready to place a new order when I received a call at my office asking if I would be interested in placing an order with their company that was a local company.
And who did you get that call from?
Sonia.
That's you.
Yes.
How did you get the plaintiff's number?
I was making calls to local businesses listed as members of the Placentia City Chamber of Commerce. Her place of business, Impact Properties, came up as a member, and I made a call, and she was the one that answered the phone.
And what did you say to her?
I introduced myself, and I let her know that we are a screen printing business here in Placentia, and I was reaching out to local businesses to see if they would be interested in ordering custom T-shirts, and if not, at least to let them know that we offer those services for future reference.
How much did you quote her per T-shirt?
So she ordered a few different garments.
Just tell me what you quoted her.
$14 per T-shirt.
That's $1 more than you had paid last year.
Correct.
Had you gotten a quote from Rush Order for this year?
Not yet.
Well, that would cut into your profit by about $200.
Except that I didn't have to pay shipping.
Rush Order isn't a large online reputable business for screen printing, bags, cups, shirts, things like that.
And you were happy with them last year?
Yes.
On what date did you place an order with the defendant's company for these T-shirts?
March 30th.
Do you have a written agreement?
I do.
May I see it, please?
I would like to note that the $14 quote was for 90 T-shirts, not 200. So that does.
I just want to see what the contract says. Okay. Yes, $14 was for 90. That was for short sleeved. Long sleeve printed was $16 plus tax. There's a setup fee, redraw artwork, extra large sizes. Well, this is not a signed agreement. However, the last sentence reads, by submitting your payment, you agree to these terms and conditions. You are verifying that all the information on the invoice is correct. You submitted payment.
I do have proof of payment, yes.
They don't dispute that you actually paid them because you had to pay them in advance.
Correct.
Okay, so this is a clear contract. And it's your claim that you were dissatisfied with the artwork, you had paid already, you want a refund, you did not use their T-shirts.
Correct.
And I believe you actually canceled or tried to reverse the credit card that you had used.
I tried to get a refund through PayPal, correct.
And according to you, that was denied because the defendant said that you had actually picked up the T-shirts.
Correct.
Okay.
And I have proof of that from PayPal.
I'd like to see that.
The incorrect logo was used.
Okay. Before I get into the substantive part of it, whether or not you like the artwork or not, who was contacted by PayPal? Which one of you?
That would be, he handled the PayPal claim.
I took care of PayPal.
You took the call from PayPal?
Yes.
When you had communication with PayPal, do you have any proof, written proof of your communication, or did you just speak to PayPal verbally on the phone?
Both. We talked on the phone, and we also,
PayPal documents our conversations via email through the website.
Did you tell PayPal that the plaintiff had picked up the merchandise?
Yes.
Well, that's not true.
It is true. She picked up the merchandise.
No. I don't believe that, sir. I believe she was dissatisfied with the merchandise. But unless you can prove to me that she picked up the merchandise, I don't believe that. Okay. Because she may be a tough cookie, and she may have gotten crazed with you and said miserable things about you in her review, but she would not be here today if she picked up the merchandise.
Her event was the next day. The day she picked them up, it was the day before her event.
Who gave it to her?
We gave it to her.
Not we. No, not we. Who gave it to her?
I gave it to her?
You're asking me a question, sir. You're asking me a question.
Her order was...
Just a second. You have a business?
Yes.
You're in a building. Is there a reception area in the building?
Yes.
Did you tell PayPal that they were picked up from the reception area in the building?
I don't recall.
I want you to think about it. I want you to think about it. Did you tell PayPal that they were picked up in a reception area in your building?
I don't recall if I said the reception area or my office. I'm not sure the terminology I used.
Well, what was it, reception area or your office?
My office is
that's a question.
Area. My reception area is in my office. I don't recall exactly what I told PayPal, but she did pick them up that day, and that's what I told PayPal.
No, I don't believe you.
Okay. That's what we're here for.
No, that's what we're here for, because sizing her up, she's a tough cookie.
Yes.
And she, as I said, might have been dissatisfied with the logo, which I don't necessarily have to even go into now. What the screen was like, what the colors were off, or whatever it was, I don't have to go into that. Because if I believe that she did not pick up the merchandise, and you told PayPal that she did pick up the merchandise, she gets her refund back. Now, so I'm going to come back to you. You didn't like the way they looked.
Correct.
I don't care why. Did you have other shirts made?
I did. I have one of them here today.
Do you have an invoice for the other shirts? Who did you have them made by?
Rush Order Tees.
That's easy. When did you have them made by Rush Order Tees?
I had them made in May.
Well, that's about 30 days later. And did you sell them?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Pull up an order from your phone for Rush Order Tees, please. While you're looking at it, just tell me, how much did you pay for them from Rush Order Tees, and how many did you order?
It was just slightly over $2,000. I believe we ordered 110 T-shirts.
Okay. And you got them sometime in May?
Correct. I'm sorry, that was April 26th was the exact date.
May I see it, please?
There's my order.
It was 1828.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Okay, so Mr. and Mrs. Gallagher, she ordered the T-shirts within a couple of weeks and got them from another company, which suggests to me that if she picked up your T-shirts, she would not have done that. Do you understand?
I don't.
Do you understand?
No, I don't. Because if she
you
ordered
may
200...
you may not like it, but ladies may be, to you, abrasive, because that's what you say in here. She may be abrasive, but she would not ask for a refund through PayPal if she had picked up. If she had picked up the merchandise, she would not have done that.
The previous year she ordered 200, and this year she ordered 100 from me, 100 from them, which same is consistent, 200 shirts.
I can answer to that if you'd like.
She picked them up.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't.
We ordered a smaller quantity this year because many of our friends had already purchased them the previous year.
Whatever. I don't believe that you picked them up. I believe that you got angry because they weren't exactly what you wanted. You looked at them, but there's no question that it was an easy answer for him to give when PayPal called and said she picked them up from the reception area. Okay, and I don't believe that. So you have to get your refund back because you were dissatisfied and because you lied. There was an incident between the plaintiff and your husband, and you came in. Did you say something to her?
Yeah, I did.
Don't!
I didn't want to talk to her.
No!
Larissa Kuala-Ehlers claims business owners Ernie and Sonia Gallego owe for a refund on custom T-shirts. Ernie and Sonia are countersuing for defamation.
But that doesn't justify.
What?
We did do all the work. The printing is the very last part of the order. We did the graphic work. We printed samples. We went above and beyond to try to make her happy, and she was completely unreasonable. There was
listen, I said to you,
Yeah.
she may be a completely unreasonable customer.
Right.
That's possible. Fortunately, I don't have to go into that because the reason your husband gave PayPal for not giving her a refund was because she took the merchandise. And I don't believe that. I believe she may have been, in your eyes, a totally unreasonable customer. And if your husband had said to PayPal, we were ready, willing, and able. We fulfilled our contract to the letter, and we could just not satisfy this lady. The merchandise is here, ready to be picked up. It was always ready to be picked up. He didn't. He told them she got it, and that was not true. And that, Miss Gallego, is why she gets her refund back.
Her event was the day before. We were on a crucial deadline. We have our employees working overtime, getting her job done. We have receipts of all the items that were printed, that were ordered. She came in the day before her event, picked up what we had completed. I had completed approximately 72 shirts. She took one box out of 2 that day. She was going to come back for the rest. She left with what she had for her event. She even posted pictures on social media of our shirts.
Oh, that I would like to see. Did you pick up any boxes from him?
I picked up no boxes. And the event that he's referring to, my son has a race on the second Saturday of every month. I had asked for those shirts to be ready by his April race, but because they were not, I didn't have shirts for him until the March race. Every shirt that you see in my social media or my son's social media is the shirts that we purchased from Rush Order Tees.
I'd like to see.
This is our sample picture.
No, I want to see what...
Oh, here.
Is that one of the shirts that you prepared for
This
her?
is on her social media account. And then this is also just the graphic work that we did on her social media page.
Which social media account?
I'll find out.
We know that's our shirts because I did the graphic design work. All the logos she gave me were like different colors. They were full color. They had black backgrounds. I revised, redrew everything, and converted them all to white.
Just 1 second.
I did the graphic work, and they're all in PNG form, so all you have to do is change them
If
to
she
white.
did the graphic work, then why would she pay us to do the graphic work?
And I have an email printout of the graphic she submitted to us. Is not print ready.
Oh, I don't care about that. I'm not getting into those weeds.
I have copies of all of the JPEGs.
According to you,
yes.
I'm going to go back. He said that there were 2 boxes ready.
There were 2 boxes ready.
There's 2 boxes ready, but that wasn't all the shirts.
There was
2 boxes. The 2 boxes were not all the shirts. How many shirts were in a box?
72.
So what you're telling me is that she picked up 72 shirts.
Yes.
Okay. Go back and tell me. Just refresh my recollection as to what he said about the 2 boxes of shirts. Well, we had 2 boxes of shirts ready.
I didn't pick up a thing. They wouldn't even let me take the sample.
She took 1 box out of 2 that day. She was going to come back for the rest.
Were there only 2 boxes or were there more than 2 boxes?
2 boxes.
Did you tell PayPal that she did not take half of the merchandise?
I told PayPal that we filled 72 pieces when I talked to him on the phone.
That's not what PayPal said to her, sir. That's not what PayPal said.
I'm not sure what PayPal said to her.
PayPal said that the merchandise was delivered to you.
Exactly
and you did not
what?
return. And it was not returned. But that's not true.
Exactly what
Only
I'm testifying here is what I told PayPal.
Well, then why wouldn't PayPal say to her, look, we don't know what the dispute is all about, color and everything else, but you're entitled to half your deposit back if you told her you only delivered half the merchandise.
The thing is, 100% of the shirts, there's 3 locations, a front, back, and a sleeve.
Listen.
We have everything's 100%, the sleeves are done. The 72 were printed 100%. We just had 29 shirts remaining, 28 shirts remaining.
I don't believe you, Mr. Gallego. She gets her deposit back. Now we're going to get to your counterclaim. Counterclaim is for $5,000 for defamation. So I'd like to see how she defamed you.
So Larissa posted a negative review on Yelp, which
She's allowed to do.
She's allowed to. However, she's not allowed to say that my husband lunged at her and was aggressive. That's a...
I'd like to see it.
Here you
And then I'll ask her about it.
And I've also included other reviews from other businesses that she's dealt with where it has the same MO. I spoke to another business owner.
Did Miss Gallagher call you on your cell phone the day afterwards to apologize for her husband's behavior?
She called me that afternoon.
On your cell phone?
I believe it was on my cell phone, yes.
And this happened on April 26th of 2022?
It happened on
No.
April 8th.
Okay, so that would be in your phone log.
Should be, if I still have it.
While she's looking, Miss Gallagher, after this incident, when she came in and had this acrimonious discussion with your husband, which is evidenced in this review, did you call Miss Ehlers? Did you call her?
I did call her.
Okay,
Yes, I
and
did.
that because that she can prove that you called her.
Yes.
Now, after this screaming match that she had with your husband, where she left your premises,
It wasn't
she
a
said,
screaming
just,
match.
she said that you came down for whatever reason. I'm just asking you things that can be proven.
Right.
What can be proven is after she stormed out that day, you called her the next day. I want to know what you're claiming you said to her the next day.
I gave her a call to smooth the situation over.
Just tell me what you said to her the next day. Hello, it's me from $5 school teas. It's Sonia.
Okay.
What did you say to her? Be careful.
I don't remember word for word, but what I do remember saying is that I apologize for how everything played out.
Okay. Okay, because there was an incident between the plaintiff and your husband.
Yes.
And you came in. Did you say something to her?
Yeah, I did.
Don't.
I didn't want to talk to her.
No. I think you got into a screaming match with her, and I think that your wife intervened that day, which is why she called her the next day to try to smooth things over.
I know that's what you think.
This is not a
That's not actually
tea dance.
happened, though.
This is not a tea dance.
Larissa Kuala-Ehlers is accusing business owners Ernie and Sonia Gallego of ruining her custom T-shirt order. Ernie and Sonia say Larissa left a negative review and defamed them.
Okay, you came in the middle of the dispute.
Yes.
And in the middle of the dispute, to try to calm things down.
Yes.
Because she was screaming at him.
Yes.
And he was screaming at her.
No.
What was he saying to her? She was screaming at him, and what was he doing? Now, just remember, you called her the next day.
I did.
To apologize to her.
Not to her. I called to apologize for the entire situation from beginning
But
to
if
end.
what you're telling me is that the only one who was behaving badly was the plaintiff. That's what you're telling me. The only one that was behaving badly was the plaintiff.
She was out of line.
There's no question. There's no question. Actually, she acknowledges in this review.
But that's not the worst part of it.
She acknowledges in this review that she was out of line in screaming.
Yes.
And that's what you came into.
Yes.
So the only thing that you're disputing is that your husband was likewise screaming at her, answered her back.
He was not screaming. He was patient, and he was attempting to work it out with her. The only thing I remember him saying, and I can recall, is him saying, I'm trying to help you. I don't understand why you're acting this way. And I do recall him telling her that she was a bad person because she was...
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, a person can only take so much.
I'm telling you, she says this.
Yes.
In her review. Okay. Now, you want me to look at other reviews that she wrote for a carpet company in 2021.
Yes, and I spoke to the owner.
Shh. Okay, first she complained about a carpet company and the horrible service. They laughed at her and disrespected her. Okay. And then, that was in 2021. That was a year before. Then she posted a review, according to the timeline, in 2015. So 6 years before.
It shows a pattern.
No, a pattern.
Yeah,
a pattern. Three complaints. Three complaints from somebody who lives a life in 6 years.
I have a copy of all of the 5-star reviews.
Okay, and this one said the owner wasn't interested in hearing her complaints. It was over the phone and hung up. That's 2015. Okay, she takes her reviews seriously. Now, you want to show me other reviews?
These are all of the 5-star reviews that I've done as well. I'm an equal opportunity Yelper.
Just a second. would you just show this to the plaintiff and make sure she agrees that those are hers, and then I'm going to have you show this to the defendants. Okay. Now show this to Ms. Gallego. All you have to do is look at them quickly.
Yeah.
Well, no, just a second.
Yeah.
You didn't look at them.
Oh, I was reading. Okay.
You don't have to read the whole thing. These are 5-star reviews.
Yes.
Count how many she did.
Yes, I see that there's a good...
So she takes her reviews seriously. It's not a pattern.
Right, but she's aggressive in everyone. Like I mentioned.
No, not
I
aggressive in here.
Well, not in those.
Not
not
in
the negative
here.
ones, yes.
Not in here, and 2 of the ones that you gave me were over the phone. If I told you how many times my husband hangs up on people over the phone aggressively.
I understand,
Yeah.
but name calling and belittling people and calling him
Retarded,
stupid.
Just a second. All unladylike.
She attacked my faith.
Oh, listen to me. That's not what you're talking about, Mr. Gallego. You're talking about a lawsuit for defamation, that she posted something that was false on the internet. And I'm telling you it wasn't false because I think you got into a screaming match with her, and I think that your wife intervened that day, which is why she called her the next day to try to smooth things over. This is not a tea dance. This is not a tea dance. You understand? This is not a tea dance. I believe that she did not pick up her shirts. I believe that that's why your wife called her to try to smooth out that, as well as what had happened the day before. She behaved badly.
You're allowing a tyrant to get away with this.
I'm allowing a tyrant to get away with this?
She completely bashed us. She's lying. She picked up her order.
No, I don't believe that.
Your Honor, my reputation, I work with students, I work with teachers, moms. My reputation, I don't advertise.
Just a second.
It's all word of mouth.
She did not pick up her order, sir, even according to you. According to you, she only picked up a partial order. She picked up 1 box. That's according to you. That's not what PayPal.
72 out of 100.
No, I don't. Listen to me. So what you're saying is there were 2 boxes, not in half. The orders were not in half. You filled up 1 box and only there was a little bit of merchandise left in the second box.
Come back for, yes.
Yeah, I don't believe you, sir.
Because
she gets her refund. She gets her refund. $16.93.
What about all
Judgment for
the
the
work that
plaintiff.
we-
Counterclaims dismissed. We are done here.
This court is adjourned.
Absolutely.
Case number 2024, Morgan versus Davis. All parties, please step forward.
Corey Morgan is suing dress designer Jacqueline Davis for party costs and a dress deposit.
Ms. Morgan, this is what this case is about in a nutshell. You were celebrating a birthday. When was your birthday?
March 24th.
And you always make a big deal, according to you, about your birthday. It's a very important day of the year for you and for everybody who knows you.
Correct.
Yeah, that's the way Sarah feels, actually. Me, I sort of like to forget birthdays now. I like it to run right by that day as undercovered as possible. Anyway, you celebrate your birthday with a big party.
Right.
And according to you, you get a spectacular dress for this party, invite everybody that you know and care about. How many people were you having for your birthday party?
It was going to be about 12 people.
Where was it going to be held?
It was going to be at the James Harden restaurant.
Who was going to be there?
My best friend from Chicago, my mom, my dad, just an intimate setting of family and friends.
Mom, dad, your best friend from Chicago. Who else?
Just family, cousins, aunt.
And you couldn't get the restaurant for that day, so you made it in April on a different day than your birthday.
Yes, I originally booked it in January 18th. The restaurant, it's a big deal, so yeah.
Whatever. It was postponed until what date?
Yes, ma'am, April.
Jacqueline Davis is responsible for party costs and a dress deposit. Jacqueline is countersuing, claiming Corey owes for travel costs.
And you ordered your dress from the defendant. You found her through a mutual friend because she makes wonderful clothes. The defendant also is a tax preparer, I understand. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So she's busy. So she makes clothes. She's a tax preparer in season. You made arrangements with her to make your dress, and she was going to make your dress at the cost of $300. According to you, you didn't get your dress in time. It was never fitted at all after your initial measurements were taken. Is that correct?
Yes.
And since you didn't have the dress for your dinner, you had a terrible birthday, you canceled your birthday, and you want her to pay for the dinner.
Yes. Just the build up.
That's Miss Morgan. How old are you?
I just made 35, so it was the build up leading to it.
So if you turn 35, I'm a lot older. Sarah's younger, and my other grandchildren, you know, were around that age. I have one that's close to your age. I cannot imagine any of my older grandchildren, or me, for instance, canceling an event because I didn't have just the right dress. I mean, it's not as if a bride is canceling her wedding because she didn't have a wedding dress to wear. Of course, if you want to get married badly enough, you put a sack over your head with a tie and you walk down the aisle. But you don't cancel the wedding. So you want her to pay for the deposit that you made on the dress.
Yeah, it was.
And another $1,000 or more because you didn't have a nice party.
So originally when I booked it, it was for April 1st. When I tried to rebook it because she told me at the last minute that she was not going to be able to do the dress, which was the week of. I had originally set up for her to do the dress so I could have something to wear. I purchased shoes, nails, everything.
I understand everything. She's not going to pay you for the party. You should have worn something else for the party. Believe me, your best friend from Chicago, your mother and your father would not have cared if you wore that dress or any other dress. You should not be out a penny.
I was out of penny.
Well, you were out $150. You gave her $150. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I gave it back to her. I sent her a refund.
Oh, you did send her a refund?
Yes.
Did you? Just a second. Up. When did you send her a refund, Miss Davis?
I sent her a refund on March 29th. She requested a refund on March 28th, and I sent it directly to her.
To her on March 29th?
Yes.
How did you send it, by check or?
She sent me the money via Cash App, and I returned it via Cash App.
Do you have verification of that?
Yes, I do.
And she kept that money?
Yes.
Is that correct, Miss Morgan?
Yes, ma'am.
That's just a yes.
Yes.
Well, what did you think you were taking that money for? You asked for a refund, she gave you a refund.
I gave her $150 and she sent me $105 back, but she sent it the week of my event. So
I don't care if it's the week of your event. Did you send her $105 or?
I did.
Why?
Because I was charged a fee with Cash App, and also there were additional items that were purchased that I told her about that I deducted from that.
You can't deduct anything from that. And you can't even deduct the fee from Cash App because what it cost her was more than $150 then to send it to you, right?
Right.
Right. So why should you send her less?
Because I previously explained to her that I needed to order stones. Those stones were ordered.
Oh, then you're going to have to eat those. You didn't have the dress in time. You didn't have the dress in time.
The dress wasn't done.
No, it wasn't done. Not even according to you was it done. She hadn't had a fitting on it. The problem is you gave her money, and you should have sent her exactly what it is that she sent you because you didn't fulfill your end of the contract. A day before the party is not the time to say it's 95% ready. Okay. She has to give you $145.88, which is exactly what she received. Am I correct that that's what she said?
That is what she said.
$145.88? Okay. She doesn't pay you for your disappointment, for your sorrow, for your party costs, or anything else, just for my own information, because that's my judgment. Did you spend your birthday with your mother and father? That's either yes or no.
No, ma'am.
Who did you spend your birthday with?
My boyfriend.
Oh, was he invited to the other party?
The dinner, yes, but I had to cancel the dinner.
I'm just asking.
Yes.
You didn't have to cancel the dinner because you didn't have a dress. That's what I'm trying to get to you. You could have gone to your dinner in that dress. I know, it's silly, and it's a little bit immature also. What about your best friend from Chicago? You told her not to come in because you didn't have a dress?
Well, I told him that I would be canceling the dinner because I purchased shoes, my nails, everything was accustomed to the dress. So when she didn't deliver the dress, everything was already in black and silver. I did not have a chance to go look for anything because it was the week of.
Oh, yes, of course you did. Of course you did, black and silver. You put on black pants, black top, and you put on silver around your neck. We're done here. Don't be ridiculous, Miss Morgan. You have to grow up a little. You have to give her back her money. Don't disappoint people. I mean, I know it's busy. It's tax time. You said to her, I'm busy. I'm working on things for the Oscars. You can't overstretch yourself. I know that it's very entrepreneurial to try to do too much. But sometimes when you try to do too much, you disappoint somebody.
This court is adjourned.
I'm not happy about it just because I'd already given her a refund.
I'm happy with the decision. It was pretty much principle for me. She was very unprofessional.
And given from the beginning, I worked with her.
And she didn't respect my time, and she canceled on me at the last minute.
And she waited to the last minute and canceled the order. So
she canceled at the last minute because she didn't have the dress ready to begin with.
Everything was really on her, but she put it on me because she was unhappy with how she chose to deal with the whole situation.
We'll be getting another dress with my original person that I was going to go to.
Absolutely not.
But from now on, I definitely will be going with who I know.
Will not work with.
His former friend, Lawrence Sr. for money he gave Lawrence to run a boys' basketball team.
Court come to order. All rise.
Have a seat, everyone.
Hello, Judge. Case 2167, Gabriel versus Senior.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Gabriel, it's always exciting for me when I find a case that I can't relate to based upon my own personal experience. And this has to do with sports.
Yes.
And those people who know me know that I'm really a non-functioning American when it comes to sports. I understand baseball, but nothing else. However, I have a little bit of experience with people. So you have a son, that would be you. Could you stand up for a moment? Who's tall, now you can sit down, and who likes to play basketball.
Yes, Your Honor.
And he's been playing basketball for a long time. Well, most sports stopped at the start of the pandemic. And he was playing for a team.
Yes, Your Honor.
I know that I'm going to get fuzzy on this eventually. So far, I'm holding up okay. So he was playing for the team. The team closed down, as did most other things. And the pandemic is sort of winding down, and sports are coming back. And you wanted your son to play basketball because this is your senior year in high school?
No, I'm a freshman in college, Your Honor.
Last year, so this happened last year?
Yes, I was a senior.
So this happened last year when he was a senior in high school, and you wanted him to play because he enjoyed it and because you thought somebody would find him? A scout?
Mostly the enjoyment, but there's always a chance for the scout.
Okay, and you know, you're his father, and fathers always think that their sons are uber talented and maybe can be one of those quiet self-starters who turns out to be the hero on the basketball court. I have a grandson who plays baseball, and he plays baseball pretty well. Plays in college. His father follows him around from one game to another like it was a full-time job.
I can relate to that.
It is.
Well, your son wanted to play. There was no team. The defendant was a basketball coach who you knew.
Yes, Your Honor.
Whose team was also the teams that he coached were also defunct because of COVID. So far, correct, Mr. Senior?
Yes, ma'am.
So at some point, you approached him and said, I'd love to start up this team again because I would like my son to play ball. He wants to play ball, and nobody else is doing it that I know of. What would it take to restart a team that could be part of a league or play other teams? You know.
Yeah, you're right.
You know.
Yeah.
Is that close?
Yeah. You're close. You're close. Yes.
Close enough.
Yeah. Yes.
Perfect. So you talked about an amount, and Mr. Senior said, I can start the team up for $8,500.
Yes, ma'am.
You, who wanted desperately for your son to play ball his senior year, said, I'm going to give you the money. You gave him $8,500. So far, correct?
$8,200. It's $8,500, Your Honor. I have the check right here if you'd like it.
Okay. If you have the check, cash it. So it's $8,500. The team only played one game or one tournament?
No, it was actually four tournaments in total for that season that we played.
And how many are you supposed to play?
We had planned on 6 in total. 1 would be out of state or far away.
No. How many games were supposed to be played by your son's team being coached by the defendant?
So a tournament could have 3 games. And that takes over the course of a weekend, a Saturday and a Sunday.
So
a tournament could be 3 games.
Tournament is 3 games.
Could be 4 as well if you're successful.
Okay, so you were supposed to have 4 tournaments?
We were supposed to have 6 tournaments, and we did have 4.
Okay, so you played most of the games?
Yes.
And then the team was disbanded?
Yes.
For whatever reason, may or may not be relevant. So how much money do you want back? You're suing him for $4,800.
Right.
Well, you know, math is my second non-strong suit.
Yep.
But if you paid him $85 and you played 2/3 or 3/4 of the games that you were supposed to play, why do you think you would be entitled to $4,800 back?
Because I also fronted the money for the uniforms.
Well, that was spent.
And the graphics.
Well, that was
in
spent.
addition to the $8,500.
I understand that, but that was all spent. The uniforms, the players got.
Right.
Right? And they kept them?
The players kept some, and the defendant has the rest of them.
Okay. Do you want them back?
I do not.
Well, he'll give them to you back if you want them, because he's not using them.
How do I know that? This is his team, his organization. It's a non-for-profit company.
Okay, let's deal with it slowly. We're dealing with the math first. Do you have, Mr. Senior, do you have any of the uniforms.
No, ma'am, I never collected the uniforms. He
Did
had
you
sole
have?
Possession.
What?
Well, he had sole possession of the uniforms.
So you don't have any uniforms?
No, he's the one that handed them out.
Okay. Did any of the players give them back to you?
No, none of them gave.
So you don't have any uniforms? He
No.
doesn't have any
Okay,
uniforms?
but Your Honor, it didn't cost $85 to run the team, that's my.
Just a second. Now, what we're talking about, sir, your $8,500 went to have 6 tournaments. You had 4 tournaments, right?
Yes.
Whether or not you get your money back is a whole other thing. But the uniforms were purchased. That you don't get back. The advertising, graphics were done. That you don't get back.
But that's
Whether it's
not
for
my
4
name on
or
it.
6.
That was his team's name on it.
Doesn't matter. What difference does it make?
Majority did not pay.
Do you have anything that requires that they pay in a contract?
That would be Coach Larry that he does, and he passed out those to the kids.
No, he didn't put in $8,500. You did.
Jason Gabriel claims his former friend, Lawrence Sr. owes him money after they started a boys' basketball team.
Now, can you tell me why the tournaments were cut short, sir?
There was a number of reasons, Your Honor. One of them was right from the start, both me and my other son tried to discourage Mr. Giamni about forming a team of that age group.
Okay. I don't want to get back into that, sir. You took his money. You played 4 out of the 6 tournaments. How much were you paid to coach out of this $8,500?
I wasn't paid anything.
Did you?
It's more of an administrative cost.
What administrative costs?
Scheduling tournaments, gyms, gas, transporting kids that didn't have rides. More than half the team was not supported by their family. At least one kid was
Well,
homeless.
was there an accounting that you asked for, sir?
Yes, that was my initial response to Coach Larry. Was yes, he told me $8,500 to start the team.
No, I'm asking you an
And then I
accounting at
asked
the
him-
end of the day.
I asked him where the money went. Like, could he account for $8,500 in addition to $1,600 that other kids paid to play? That's how I was going to get my money back. It wasn't just, I'm going to give you the money and you go do with it what you want. He told me it was $8,500 to start the team, and I would get my money back.
Oh, from what source?
The kids pay to join the team.
Okay. How many people were on the team?
We had as many as 14, maybe 16 come through.
To trials. They didn't play. I'm sorry. How you doing, Your Honor?
How am I doing? I've been better. You're his son?
Yeah, I actually run the
Oh, yeah,
program
yes.
with him. Yes.
Okay, good. So how many young men were playing basketball?
On the team that you're talking about that's in question, I believe there was as many as 10 to 12 that actually came. The numbers vary because we're talking about 18-year-old children that come and go as they please. They don't really want to be that.
18-year-olds are maybe children to their parents. They're not 18-year-old children.
When it comes to this, then
Well,
the
when it comes-
responsibility part, yeah. I don't know. I'm old, I guess. They're children to me still. Sorry.
What I want to know is, did you have a contract with him, a written contract?
I did not.
You just said, here's your $8,500 and I'll get my money back when the kids sign up and pay their dues. How much do they pay each to join the team?
Coach Larry set that number at $600 per player.
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Can we tell you where that number comes from? Over the years, because we've been doing this for over 20 years, the average cost to run a team for a full season, we averaged it out to be about $600 per kid, because on a 10 to 12 man roster, 10 being the least you should have.
How does he make money?
We don't make money, I'm sorry. We don't make any
So
money.
you don't make any money, you just do this for the love of the sport.
He grew up in a basketball family. He's played basketball all his life. I've been in a sports family. My brother has, and we just love sports.
So this is not a money-making operation?
Not at all. We probably put in more money than we've made or put out in the program. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, sir.
Your Honor, I coach high school football. Actually, his son goes to the school I coach. So I was aware of him, and I also coach baseball. So I just don't, you're not going to make any money coaching youth sports if that's what everybody's saying.
Well, I'm just asking you.
No, I know that.
I'm just asking you, because there is a suggestion here that some of that money was to pay you as coach. And I just want to know whether that is in fact correct, whether any of this $8,500 went to you.
Not directly, no. Talking about gas.
Indirectly to pay for gas and pick up
maybe a
that
car
sort-
repair, I only had one car at the time.
Okay.
So
Mr.
me and my
Gabriel,
wife were retired.
Mr. Gabriel, can you tell me if you have, since you have no written contract,
Yes.
you have no written contract requiring anything, you're supposed to start up a basketball team, which he did. I assume you played, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you played in 4 out of 6 tournaments. Stand up next to your dad. Did you play successfully?
I only played 3 out of the 4 tournaments.
That's reasonable.
But we were
Is
successful.
that normal that members, I don't even know how many people are on the basketball court at a time.
5 at a time.
What?
5 at each team at a time, so 10
5
total. Yes.
Well, if you had 10 to 12 kids, you what? What are you laughing at? I don't know.
I tried to expose it to you before this case. I tried to put it on TV. I played the Lakers.
So if I
and
go back
the
up to
Clippers.
2019, we met Coach Larry in 2019. I didn't just pick him out of the blue now.
I didn't suggest that you picked him out of the
So
blue.
my son
Mr.
played for
Gabriel.
him in the past.
Mr. Gabriel, you don't look like the man that would give some stranger $8,500 to start up a team, not knowing him.
Correct.
Okay, I accept that. I just don't understand that are you a business person?
I am.
What kind of business are you in?
I'm a contractor.
Well, if you're a contractor,
Yes.
that I know. You have contracts.
Absolutely.
You're a contractor has contracts. And the contract that you do, you build homes or you build...
I remodel homes, yes.
Okay, so the contracts that you do lay out with specificity what you're going to do, what the materials cost are, what the VIG is on it, within a certain amount of play. But it lays out everything that you're going to do. You're turning over $8,500 to the defendant, and there is nothing in there that suggests that with any specificity what he has to do to comply. He had to start a team, which he did, right? Had to start a team, which he did, where your son played.
Yes.
Which he did. There were supposedly 6 tournaments, out of which 4 were successfully played, and your son played in 3 of them, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you should have been happy. Somebody got a chance to see him. Did anybody give you a basketball scholarship?
I do play Division III basketball in Brooklyn.
Good for you. There you go. Did somebody find you at one of these games?
No.
How were you recruited?
I did multiple showcases, and I won in Connecticut in particular.
He's a good player, Your Honor.
He's a good player.
And so I was found through showcases that I did by my own.
Okay. But you played. And that was good practice. It was good.
Yes.
I don't know why it was disbanded after 4 tournaments. Do you? Do you?
Yes. There was multiple players who did not want to play anymore because they were verbally abused by the coach, and they just were fed up. And then there was other players that were let play for free, and people just thought that was unfair.
What do you mean with not play for free? Explain that to me.
That they were just let on the team without paying.
Oh, so some people were disturbed that some people paid to play and some didn't.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have anything that requires that they pay in a contract?
That would be Coach Larry that he does, and he passed out those to the kids.
No, I'm asking you for your... He didn't put in $8,500, you did. Here it says, use some fees to catch up on my mortgage. I assume that's your home mortgage.
Correct, after the season was over.
Well, you can't do that. You can't do that, sir. Do you understand?
Jason Gabriel is accusing his former friend, Lawrence Sr., of owing him money after their boys' basketball team ended.
Go ahead, sir.
I put the money to the team. He runs the team. I can't tell him how to run his team.
No, would you have a contract, sir, that tells you what your $8,500 was to be used for, and the expectation that you were going to get that money returned to you via fees that were paid to each individual player? That has to be it. And in the event that they don't pay, who's going to pay?
Well, I do have a text message from the defendant saying, I did not use all the money. It did not cost $8,500,
Okay,
and I will pay you back.
That's what I would like to see. Because it was disbanded for whatever reason. All your reasons, sir, are hearsay. What is your first name?
Gianni.
Gianni, the reasons are hearsay. Why people left, they didn't like to be yelled at, they didn't like some people. That's all stuff that I can't process as a jurist in my head. All I know is this is a contract case. So now he paid $8,500, and Did you, Mr. Senior, at some point say the $8,500 hasn't been all used up and I'll give you back some of the money?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
And this is also a text message saying he used it for his mortgage and that he agreed to pay me $400 a month to pay back the money.
Coach, fees to catch up on my mortgage, use some fees to catch up on my mortgage, at least $1,500. And between operating costs, there is roughly $2,400 left.
Correct.
Well, that's what you wrote to him.
Yeah, and I was willing to give him the money that the kids had paid up front.
No. There is roughly not the money that the kids paid up front, sir. You say to him in your text, after this was all over, because I assume that this is all over after the team was disbanded, there is roughly $2,400 left. So I'm going to have to work out sort of a payment arrangement, if you don't mind, which means you didn't have the money, but it was left over and you spent it on something else. And it's here it says, use some fees to catch up on my mortgage. I assume that's your home mortgage.
Correct, after the season was over.
Well, you can't do that. You can't do that, sir. Do you understand? Okay, well, this acknowledges several things. It acknowledges that he used $1,500 to catch up on his mortgage, right? And that, according to you and according to your son, whether or not you took a fee for yourself, paying your home mortgage is a fee. Do you understand that, sir?
I do.
All righty. So
I sure do.
You sure do. So $1,500, did you pay him back the $1,500?
No, because at that point...
No, the answer is no. And you said even after the $1,500 that you used to pay your home mortgage, there was still $2,400 left. That's what you said in here. That's a yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, then you add 24 and 15 is 009 is $3,900.
Yes.
Even my rudimentary math suggests to me that that is a correct number. Well, that's minimally what you owe him, your mortgage payment and the $2,400 left. You're suing him for $4,800.
Right.
This acknowledges $39.
Absolutely.
Prove to me any more.
So I went back to Mr. Senior and I said, I didn't necessarily believe that it cost $5,500 to run the team. I said, so therefore, you owe me $5,000. I said, you need to either get a loan and pay me back, or he said, I can't get a loan. I can give you $400 a month.
I'd like to see the exchange.
I said, if you're going to give
I'd like to see the exchange. Just because you said, I think it's $5,000.
And this is where he says, I'd like to pay you back.
This doesn't say anything about $5,000.
And this is where I told him that he misappropriated money that was owed back to me, and that was his response.
Just because you said it, he doesn't acknowledge here in his answer that it's $5,000. Silence cannot be construed as acknowledging $5,000. Even the math doesn't fit in. You played more than half the tournaments. So
can we see how much the tournaments cost then, please?
No, I'm not bothering. That's nonsense. Put something in a contract. You're a contractor. Have a contract. Right now, he owes you $3,900.
And not for the uniforms?
No.
That has his team?
No, he says he doesn't have the uniforms.
Okay.
And I didn't go to 7 years postgraduate school to discuss a basketball uniform, a pair of shorts, and a pair of socks.
Actually,
I don't care.
The uniforms are $1,000.
Well, then somebody's overpaying for a pair of shorts. $3,900. Judgment for the plaintiff. Thank you very much. We're finished.
Thank you.
Court is adjourned.